Don't miss another live stream. Make sure you subscribe to Tom Boley's YouTube channel. Click that subscribe button again. You're gonna wanna go down there and turn your notifications on. Then you'll be notified each time we do a live stream fishing event. Then simply enjoy hours of live stream walleye fishing content. Welcome back, folks. Do we have any viewers yet, Mitchell?
Yeah, we do, 49.
Holy smokes, Mitchell.
Yeah.
We're gosh damn famous, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, thank you for 49 of you tuning in here to, I don't know which number live stream this is, but this is the first live stream in many live streams where the wind's not blowing 90 miles an hour and it's not 50 degrees out in the summer. We have the exact opposite conditions. Flat, calm, hot as balls out here. I am finishing up on Instagram right now. I'm gonna say going live on YouTube.
Also, anybody in the chat, please drop a comment because we may have to restart and move to a different section of the lake.
We're in a terrible service area right now, but
yeah.
Where there is terrible service, there's often big walleyes to be found. And that is ultimately what we were chasing today. And when you start getting summer conditions that look like this, Mitchell, look how chopped off my head is. You were in charge of setting this up.
I can't even see it right now.
On the computer you can't?
No, it's buffering already. Watch out. Just keep.
But many days like this, we end up fishing a lot of big basin relating walleyes. And that's the plan today. We're not going for, this is not gonna be like a let's go catch 20 type of video. If I see small fish all clustered up, I'm driving away from them. I'm gonna attempt to only catch some bigger walleyes. And we're not fishing like, this isn't like Great Lakes, trophy walleye destination here. Big, are we buffering bad? Really bad? What are the viewers saying?
I mean, we got a couple comments so far. It looks bad on my end. How bad is it on your guys' end? That's what we need to know.
Yeah. I can trolling motor us to better service, or we'll just have to restart in 20 minutes. We'll see how it goes. But the goal is today to catch some big walleyes. And by big walleyes, I mean like 24, like a 28 would be magic. Would be absolutely magical to get one right now. Keep me posted, Mitchell. I'm hunting.
Will do.
I'm hunting, baby. But a lot of my screen today is gonna look a lot like this. You guys are not gonna see like bottom very often or things like that. What we're gonna see a lot of is, you see like there's a lot of bait up high, things of that nature. I am just straight up basin scouring. That is my plan for right now. And we're gonna see if we can't stumble upon some big uns. So, per usual on these live streams, I wanna thank you guys for being here. How bad is it?
I got a couple, last two comments says not bad, not bad, not too bad. So
might be in and out, we'll try our best.
Roll.
But as always, I wanna thank you guys for being here. Ask the questions. We'll have a lot of downtime in between bites on this one. So Mitchell asks the questions as we receive them. And it is extremely hot out today. That is the truth. I got multiple different things rigged up. 3-ace search bait, 5-ace search bait, and a jig and a night crawler. So we got a little bit of everything going on right now. I'm not anticipating fish being like super hot and heavy action, but we'll see. Yesterday I fished out here for just a small amount of time and they did not want anything snappy or jumpy. A lot of times what I see is that whole snappy jumpy thing on some lakes really starts kicking in. Like, we already got a bass. Should I catch a bass to start? I know I said I wouldn't, but
do it, do it. Probably 20 inches.
Could be a bass or a gar. It's gonna be one of those couple things. Oh, he swam away. It was probably a gar, honestly, or it could have been a muskie. I was too shallow for a walleye to be at this time of day. But hopefully on this live, we redeem ourselves from the poor performances on the last couple lives where it was just hellacious conditions. And I'm pretty confident on this one. We might not catch a ton, but we should catch some large fish. How's our stream status? What do we got for questions, Mitchell?
Let me catch up right now.
And is my computer gonna light up?
Yeah, I'm just like working back here to keep this thing cool. It's pretty hot. Let me see.
And do we have the New York crowd in yet?
I don't know. What's the setup today? You just went through that. Going to Leech Lake 8-3. What are the go-to bait? Sounds like it's pretty clear water this year.
We'll be bringing a search bait, a 5/8 and a 3/8. I'd be bringing some jigs to jig crawler if needed. I'd be bringing some hyper rattles and shiver minnows in purple colors. Those baits, leech is awesome because they'll bite like snappy stuff all year long out there, it seems like. So like a lot of times in the middle of summer, I mean the fish will, number one, you can catch them real shallow. So like a lot of times you can fish like a 1/4 ounce jig and a jerk minnow junior and catch them all summer up there, because a lot of those fish, especially if the wind's blowing, will get real bitey in like 8 to 12 feet of water. But we also have some really good videos on the app, on the Walleye Now side of things, talking about summer Leech Lake locations. One from August, one from, I got another dink gar or something up here. I'm not even gonna cast at it. On the Walleye Now app under summer and early summer, talking about fishing up there.
How did you determine where to start fishing today in terms of like location?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of, I'm in the deepest area of this lake, and there's some relatively deep structure out here that the fish might not be on, but they might be near. And a lot of times in the middle of summer like this, that big deep portion of the lake, you're gonna have some of the bigger walleyes in the system kind of roaming the basin in that area, because as the water warms up everywhere else, a lot of times the fish like being near on this, then we'll be looking a lot like out in here, out off the edge of some of this big deep structure. Okay, we got our first mark of the day right here. I kind of want to hit him with the 5/8 search bait because it's so much faster. We'll see what they do with the light jig here first. Oh, right on cue, casted half my crawler off, which is about par for the course. I knew I was gonna have to throw that kind of hard. Now we're gonna go for a, normally in this depth I'd go for the 5/8 search bait, but I think I'm gonna play on the little bit more finesse side and go 3/8 here. I'm just gonna walk it all the way down into him, except he's on the move, as you can see here, which I really don't like. Holy cow, he's really moving here.
Got one, was there a hot color of bait at Fort Peck?
Not really. It was a lot more just about getting around some fish that were elevated, it seemed.
Then how would you rank this lake in your top 10, like where we're at right now?
Nowhere near top 10.
I was gonna say, I don't think it's, definitely not top 10. I think we had another question. We're in Wisconsin. They said the Minnesota weather, mid-Minnesota weather is much different than here.
Holy smokes. Oh!
What happened?
All over me, dude. I don't know what happened even there. That was a poor performance, though. Maybe I can get back down to him. That was almost, that fish almost acted like it was not a walleye, but who knows, dude? Who knows what happened there? I didn't like it, though. All right, well, our first encounter with something big just occurred on a 3/8 search bait. One thing I have noticed about the 3/8 and 5/8 is sometimes if you're dealing with finicky fish, the 3/8, is because it's a little slower, can be a little more productive. Good sign,
That's what it was, or was it a poor hook set?
No, I mean, he was on there. I don't know.
Yeah, the hook set didn't look bad. Oh, we got a comment. You ever fish in Canada? Nope.
Never have.
No, sir. Have not. Heard it's pretty good, though.
Yeah, I'm sure
If
it's
you want to
pretty
catch
good
200
fishing.
fish in a day. Would you guys move to Minnesota?
Would we?
Yeah.
I don't think permanently. I like where I live, but I've been on a long property search, I guess, for a secondary fishing location. That was either a big pike or a monster walleye, one of the two. Pot of bait.
We have a Sir Mark Eisen in the chat saying he's got a secondary home for you
Oh, I don't know if I'm interested in that location.
on a phenomenal lake. Heard there's a phenomenal guide on that lake too.
All 300 acres of it. You guys are probably going to see today is nobody fishing and like 900 pontoons and pleasure boaters and wakeboard boats out here. That's the kind of day it is right now. A little sour about missing the first fish, but we'll find some other ones to catch. Oh, like that one right there. That is a giant mark. Get down there, little bait.
It's correction, Tom. It's 338 acres, okay? So don't disrespect big water.
Big water mark. Dude, why did that fish not get up? Oh, now it's coming. Got him right there.
Oh, that was a hook set.
That was a weird hook set.
Guy almost fell over.
It like
in the boat.
folded out of my hand. All right, I
Would
think
you like
we got
me to net this for you?
our first big walleye of the day on here.
You want a nut job?
He didn't like engage right away. Then all of a sudden he turned.
You look like you're just really struggling with that thing up there.
I was really struggling through that hook set. I'm not sure. I don't normally use this rod for search baiting, and like something weird happened there.
Nice fish though. That was solid fish.
And this should be the average, or possibly the average could be even a touch bigger than this. I'd say this is about touch under average for yesterday. Maybe about average, I don't know. How long is that fish? We'll bump them all today so you guys know.
There we go.
That was my first.
Let me take a guess. Let's take a guess though. You know what I mean? So we can
24 and a half.
Show the folks at home how accurate we are.
24 and a half.
I gotta take a peek. I can't tell.
Grab that bump board.
Yeah, I like your guess. I don't want to.
I really want to minimize these fish's time out of the water today. It's so hot.
24 3/4.
24 and a quarter. There we go. Fish number one. 24 and a quarter. Basin bites, baby. It's the best time of year because these big fish get out off structure. And they're very susceptible to either casting or trolling presentations. It's the one time of year where the big fish will isolate themselves from the smaller fish a lot of times. In a lot of bodies of water you're going to fish. That is the presentation right there. For the record, Mitchell, we got to do it. You know we got to do. How's our buffering? Not bad.
Yeah, I don't think we.
So for the record, I do this once every video from here on out. This is the Kalen search bait. In order to cast this without tangling it, it's very simple. The number one trick I do is I'll thread this crawler up over the hook. It's kind of dilapidated now, but you can see how far I thread that crawler up. Next thing, I'm not casting the bait like that. Most of my casts are either side-armed lobs or I'll go like this. And right before the bait hits the water, I'm kind of cupping the reel and slowing it down. And then you're not going to tangle the bait when you're fishing it like that. Okay? Very simple process when done correctly, but I field messages all day long about that exact thing right there. And I'm not yelling at you guys at all, but can kind of go about fishing this lure effectively. Because when you do it right, it's literally a non-issue. And obviously, in my opinion, it's one of the best walleye baits you can throw all summer long. Get our little crawler threaded back on there. That's how I like to rig it right there. Bada bing, bada boom. Let them load up on there before you set the hook. I'm gonna have to go back to the other rod that I always fish. It's like I don't know how I set the,
Yeah.
it's like I'm all off on like how the rod loads and how hard to set. And
Yeah, that was a little goofy. That looked like me setting the hook on that morning we left Peck when I caught that 29.
Mitch possibly did. For a man who does the softest hook sets of all time, possibly did the hardest hook set I've ever witnessed on a walleye.
Well, leading up to that, I fished for like just a little bit. And I had 2 solid fish, and I lost them like right after hook set, so I was a little frustrated. So I was like, I'm not losing the next one, and I really just set the old hook. But it was so hard, the rod almost came out of my hands.
It was impressive, I will say that.
The name of the bait, search bait. What water temp would you start trolling lead core?
Oh my gosh, dude.
Dude, what are you doing?
He didn't have it. I don't know what else to say on that.
Pushing it? Sometimes you just have to force feed these things.
Yeah, it's less about water temp. You can lead core. I've been on good lead coring bites when the water's 33 degrees, like on some places. Now he's sitting way up high taunting me. Can we get him back, folks? Can we get him back?
One comment, do you just retrieve the search bait or jig it?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I just slow reel it like 99% of the time. You can kind of get a little twitchy on it sometimes.
How much attention do you pay towards barometric pressure?
Very little. I'm just more along the line of like, let's just go fishing and see what's happening. This guy's real close to the boat now. Come on. Oh, you guys see that just right at the boat like that? It's cool when you get him right there. I'm gonna pitch out at him again. He's kind of hot. He's literally just like right here though. One thing you can do is kind of just back away from him. I've had somewhat good luck doing that. So now I'm gonna reel the bait up. I'm gonna drop it right in front of him here. I'm almost just gonna troll it backwards. You can see the bait out there, kind of right in front of the fish. Come on, react. Oh. Well, he really tried. He gave it some thought. I don't know if we want to keep antagonizing that one or not. We'll just keep moving around. You can see how those big fish are set up like that. We got a phenomenal video on Walleye Now talking about the big fish zone. And there's a very specific way you can work some of the structure to put yourself around more of those. What's that video under, Mitchell? I forget all the time where stuff's at.
It'll be under
summer video.
Yeah, it'll be under summer and then location. And I'm pretty sure I put it on Natural Lake and Reservoir.
Yeah, it is kind of the same everywhere you go. If you're in the business of hunting big ones, you can see there's a little school like eater-sized ones down in the bottom. Not interested in those at all.
And also for all the search bait questions that we get, I just uploaded right before we came out here. Really good, it's called Search Bait Secrets 2.0, and that one's gonna be under summer presentation for pretty much every category.
There's 2 search baits videos on there. One we shot last year, another one of like furthering secrets, in which stuff I've kind of learned more recently on rigging these things.
And we got a few questions that rolled in when you were talking. How come you never use it on landscape mode?
Read it again.
How come you never use Mega Live on landscape mode?
I just kind of, in shallow water I do a lot. I enjoy doing it like this more out here. Is that right or wrong? I don't know, that's how I do it.
Do you think that this search bait is better than the Walleye Nation Creation lure, and why?
I used to cut apart the Walleye Now Nation's Creations ones and just try to tweak them a million different ways. I had 2 complaints. It was hard to rig them in a way where I didn't tangle them a lot. The other issue I had was just the ginormousness of the size. Like when you start getting to 3/4 ounce or 1 ounce, I mean, that is a big piece of lead. So I wanted something with a blade that spinned really slow, that wasn't as, you didn't have to tinker with as much. I wanted something smaller and compact and that tangled less, or was more resistant to it.
And then do you ever jig vertically with down?
Negative. I guess sometimes like in rivers in the spring or something.
Yeah. One other question, are we on a river, lake? We are on a lake. And then do you direct tie or snap search bait?
Direct tie, you'll tangle a lot less.
Mark wants to know what you like better, chicken wings or pepperoni pizza?
Probably chicken wings, I would say.
How about just both together? That's, you know.
Barbecue chicken pizza? Is that what he said?
No, wings and pizza.
Interesting. Interesting choice. Mark's really asking the hard-hitting questions today.
Caleb said, Tom, thanks for using my jigs in a previous video. So
oh yeah,
thanks
for letting us use them.
He also said he's selling them, and he also makes hair jigs too.
Nice.
So if you want to chat how people can find you, we can shout that out.
Bring the jigs, or message me on Instagram. I'll give you my address, and then I'll fish those baits, and I'll put the links to your site on a video I do, hopefully this year.
Have you ever fished for greenback walleyes at Hecla Island?
No, I have not.
Do you know where that is? I don't either. Where is that?
Yeah, somewhere in Canada, I would assume. One would assume anyways. My hope is to not have to start the big motor for the next 4 hours and just basically trolling motor this entire basin. And hopefully our computer doesn't blow up from heat.
Why don't you wear your kill cord? And then, oh, Pete asked us, did we forget 2 sleeping bags at pack? I don't think so.
No, those were Tom's.
No, those are Tom's.
Pete, did you get the care package yet? You got a customer here.
It's hard to keep the perch from pecking the crawler off search bait. Yeah, if you're fishing, you know, structure stuff or shallow weeds or whatever.
Got him right there. That's big.
Dude, that looks like a good fish.
Now I got my favorite search bait rod.
That looks like a good one.
You guys see how that fish just climbed the water column? Oh yeah, real nice walleye here. Oh baby. Oh man. Nothing better. Nothing better. You guys see the way that thing climb? I love when they do that. When they climb the water like that and end up biting right next to the boat. Told you I could do it, Dad. You ever think that?
What's that?
I told you I could do it, Dad.
Oh.
There we go.
You think your dad's watching right now?
He did watch one. He just got back from Canada. Yeah. There is potential if he is watching. There we go.
You said you'd bump everyone. There's another one that's literally...
There's going to be a lot of these cookie cutter 24 and a halves. Yesterday, I think I was catching like the next class. Though. You know, when you get a few of those like just freakazoids.
It's funny how you did that and the camera wasn't on though.
24 3/4. We'll get bigger. We're gonna get 27 by the end. There we go. I mean, 27 is like freakish out of these lakes, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we can catch one though.
Yeah. I mean, I've maybe caught 128 this year on this lake, and that was like noticeably the biggest one I've caught. the 24 to 25s are, and there's a lot of fish in some of these lakes like this that they just don't get any bigger than that, right? That's like max size. So like 26, 27s are like the freaks, and like a 28 would be like the 1 in a million fish for out on these type of bodies of water. Is that fan running on the computer?
Yeah, it is. Oh, nice. Caleb, he said he, I also got a bag of the jigs. Heck yeah, man, that's awesome.
Who said that?
Caleb, who makes the jigs and hair jigs.
He's got another bag of the jigs.
Yeah, he said he's either sending one for both of us or whatever.
I'm worried about my computer exploding.
Yeah, no, we're good. I'm trying to keep up on the questions.
There's no like
here.
warnings coming up on the computer?
No, we're good.
I think you got to put a bag of ice like under it.
I don't. I literally have to put a bag of ice on me, otherwise I think I'm gonna black out.
You're fine. You're fine, Mitchell.
Do your favorite question? How do you keep search bait from tangling, and then do the heavier ones tangle less than the light ones?
You must not have been around 10 minutes ago. You lob the cast, and you slow it down before it hits the water, and you thread the crawler on. If you want all the little secret search bait rigging secrets, we just uploaded a full video to Walleye Now. But when I thread this on here, I want it to look just like that right there. And then lob your cast.
I think we might just have to make that like a commercial break and just
every 30 seconds.
20 minutes. Yeah.
Do you suffer from tangling your search bait? Yeah, I mean, it's not like when you do these things, it's like, oh, it doesn't tangle most of the time. It doesn't, it just doesn't tangle. I mean, that's like a non-issue once you cast this way enough.
Don't miss another live stream. Make sure you subscribe to Tom Boley's YouTube channel. Click that subscribe button again. You're gonna wanna go down there and turn your notifications on. Then you'll be notified each time we do a live stream fishing event. Then simply enjoy hours of live stream walleye fishing content.
Give me some more of those fat bottom girled Mitchells. Are we back from break? Yeah, that's a big fish Canadian destination. It's honestly not super far from Fort Peck. I think only like several hours.
Last Mountain Lake, yeah, sounds like a big bite there.
I think it's over there in Saskatchewan.
32 3/4, 31, 31, and 229s yesterday. So
Yeah, that place is insane from what I've heard.
Sounds awesome.
How were you catching them?
Yeah, what were you doing? That's a good question. What setting do you use on the trolling motor for searching for fish?
I go pretty fast. I'll go about 2 miles an hour.
Why do you turn the Mega Live so fast?
Because I'm going really fast with the boat.
How many dozens of worms do you go through in a day?
Oh, if Mitch is hungry, he's good to eat a dozen. And
Yeah.
if fishing's good, I might go through another couple dozen.
Yeah, so we go through a few dozen. He said he'll send you pics.
If it's really hot and you don't have any ice, you'll go through a lot more.
Said all Lindy rigs, it was flat calm.
Really? Come on, customer. Oh, here he comes. He's engaging now. Come on, dude. Don't do that to me. Ooh, see, he didn't like that when I twitched it at all. I've noticed that, but I still have like a reaction to do it sometimes.
Tom, what are some bigger crankbaits for night trolling? Basin for Cisco eating walleyes in clear water.
If you're looking for deep water, or if you're trying to like get down in that 15, 20 foot range, I can highly recommend a Reef Runner 900 or 900 Junior. I've done really well on that bait in some deeper depths. If you're looking for that shallower depth range, it's hard to beat like a P10 Smithwick.
New to Mega Live, would love to see your approach at choosing settings, deucer angle, etc. to get such clear screen.
Yeah, I have an app video on my computer right now. We're uploading doing that. Just talking about how you can tweak it and everything to kind of get what you want out of it. That video will be available in a few days, but right now, I mean, that's what I'm running right now.
Okay, so
Dynamic
another one, have you
contrast
tried the
high.
deucer on the trolling motor? Notice all the NWT guys are doing it?
Yeah, it's kind of, I was torn on which one I was going to do this year. Obviously, I've been fishing a pole for multiple years, love it, caught a bajillion fish doing it this way. The main thing is I wanted a Tarova for one more year. Now, next year I may just mix it up and try something different. We will see.
Do you have a mask on your transducer?
No.
No.
Is that the computer?
No, that's
You're positive?
100%.
Oh, that's Dakota Lithium.
Yeah. Yeah, stuff's getting a little hot in the boat today.
Open that top up. Let that thing breathe, Mitchell.
Why can't we see the bottom of the lake on your screen?
Because I don't need to see that deep. Just keep that thing open.
Dude, this thing is hot.
Yeah. Like
If you guys
that,
hear a little buzzing or fan noise, it's from the battery.
it's from possibly everything attempting to explode.
It'll shut off, so I guess it cooled it down.
Yeah. It might melt the nuclear reactor that's powering all this stuff today.
Yeah. I know.
We have a radiation meltdown out here.
He has responded to that yet.
Also, big shout out, Pete. Thank you for letting us stay in your camper.
Yeah, I mean, after going to Fort Peck, that might be my favorite lake to try to catch big walleyes.
It is a special one.
Ever use artificial with the search bait?
Yeah, sometimes I will. Some of these really pressured lakes, it's like I just prefer going with a night crawler like this.
Yeah, to comment, ever try to using the 16-volt electronics batteries? They run a little cooler with higher voltage and less amps.
So what we're plugging stuff into is external lithium battery packs right now, not like part of the boat. Yeah. But, I mean, we'll see if anything explodes. The thing I'm most worried about is the computer just getting really hot and like shutting down because it gets so hot.
Did they have to drill through the gunnel for the TKI base mount? That's
Nope.
just for the track mount.
Or if your boat has a rail, you can put it on a rail in the bow. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can set these.
Oh, we lost video, and apparently it's just audio now.
What happened? Is it showing on the screen?
No,
Something must have moved.
something happened.
Here, let me do it, Mitchell.
Weird.
All right, stay with us, folks. We'll be back in a second.
It was getting heavy, but I don't think that's it.
No, that's not it. We'll get it fixed, though. We'll get it fixed. Stay with us. Stay with us. All right. Oh, hang on one second. That's the beautiful blue sky right there. Sure is pretty. There you guys go. So what you do, Mitchell, you hit plus, then you go to video capture device, and then you come up here and you click live. And you go okay, and then you come down here, and then you want to find the other 4K. Okay, that's way too big. Click on that again. We'll scale that down a little bit.
Some real high quality stuff.
Okay.
Here we go.
Bada bing, bada boom. Are they still with us?
Yep.
Oh, holy smokes, is it hot back there?
Dude, I'm struggling. I guided today and I did not drink a single drop of water
Probably 'cause you didn't bring any, I'll bet.
I did. I brought an entire case of water, and
Well, and how do you even use that as an excuse?
And on top of that, it was a disaster of a trip because I lost all my electronics. Now I'm probably gonna pass out on a live stream. Pretty average day in the walleye fishing world.
This might be bait. It looked like fish for a second. Or it could be suckers, actually.
What kind of drone do we run for aerial footage? Just the cheap DJI.
Yeah, those are not the right marks. Come on, baby, feed us another mark. This is a lot of what this kind of fishing is, where there's not really like, you know, a lot of times you're just hunting like this, or it's just a lot of, probably doesn't show that well in the live stream, but we've probably gone 1,000 yards already in a big circle so far. Now I'm just gonna keep trudging along, kind of where I'm thinking I can hopefully run through some more big fish. Oh, there was quite a few right where we started. Is my computer buzzing the whole time, or is it kind of in and out? What's that? Just want to know how hot that thing's getting. I'll try to go this way so it stays in the shade.
Yeah, I mean, it's hot, but it's not too hot.
You couldn't fry an egg on there yet?
Not yet. I'm keeping it shaded.
Read me off a question.
Yeah, going through them. Just got one. You gonna do any more small boat episodes? Yes, sir.
Yeah, we've been. It's amazing how much you want to do, and then even when you try every day, how much you actually get done.
I mean, there's literally not enough time in a day to do all this stuff. Can you tell?
Yes, we are going to. The other thing that kind of set us back on that is the rivers were so high. I was like legitimately like didn't want to break something or watch Mitchell get swept away in a torrent of water.
Can you tell the difference between suckers and walleyes based on their movement on live?
Yeah, that last one was definitely a school of suckers, but otherwise throw them a courtesy cast. I mean, even if it's a walleye that doesn't bite, you're gonna know it's a walleye by how it reacts. Here we go. Oh, see, these are the ones I wish I had a jig on. Dang it. We're on them though, boys. I mean, this is a pretty decent amount of fish to be marking for, I would say, this duration of time so far. Not uncommon when you're fishing this way to go like an hour without making a cast sometimes.
Yeah, but, and cover lots of water doing it.
Yeah, which I get is like really boring at times, but if you want to commit to the big fish grind, you gotta commit with your heart, soul, and mind.
It's definitely way better than just picking apart structure.
Yeah. People have long, I used to think this anyways for sure, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but like, oh man, the walleyes were loaded on those rocks, just crushing bait on the rocks today. You know, they must have been pushing all the bait in there. I'm a firm believer that a lot of these fish don't do any feeding near structure for large portions of the year. And a lot of it is more keyed around fish might go into those areas to sit and like metabolize their food there. But then they get off of this stuff and they eat like out here in no man's land.
I mean, they still do eat on structure though.
Yeah, but I'm a much more firm believer that these fish do. Because think about how many times you're fishing on a day like this and like the fish on structure just do not cooperate at all. It's because they're not eating, I think, there. And I think a lot of these fish, especially the bigger ones, will key in on the bigger stuff that's out over Basin for a lot of the year. But obviously that's not the case on every body of water.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a black and white thing.
Is that thing buzzing the computer, is it buzzing all the time or no? Or is it in and out, a buzzing?
I can't hear it with the battery buzzing right now, so it's hard to say. But I mean, back to that feeding on structure thing. I mean, it does seem clearly there's a lot of smaller fish on a lake like this in the summertime. A lot more small fish on structure, and they are eating. And then you got the bigger ones out here eating. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously depends on the situation, but that is one thing I've largely believed the last 5 years is that there's less of that, oh man, the fish were just up in that spot gorging, you know. Some cases, yes, true. This time of year more than any time of year, I think that a lot of these bigger fish eat the big stuff that roams these deep water areas.
Yeah, definitely a bigger fish pattern. What lure are you using right now?
Caught 2 fish on a 5/8 search, or a 3/8 and then a 5/8 search bait. And now I got a jig and a crawler on.
How big is your jig? Because that'll be the next question.
1/4 ounce.
1/4 ounce.
How big of shoes do I wear? 11 and a half. Pants 32.
Nice. Size shirt, extra small?
Medium. I could probably do some smalls shirt wise. As you guys can tell, if I turn sideways, I kind of disappear up here. You like that one, Mitchell, or no?
Yeah. Any lead core trolling yet this year?
Have we pulled lead yet?
No.
I actually did the other day when I was out with Pete and Steve for a minute just to see if it worked.
Oh, really?
It did not work at all.
Did not work, yeah. Shocker.
I jigged we probably jigged like 20 fish and 10 before I got out there, 10 after they got out there. And
question, how deep are you concentrating today? Like concentrating on depth-wise?
the depth of water does not matter. I don't care at all about that. The depth in which the fish seem to be down seems to be 20, 25. It's hot as balls out here. Was there a breeze this morning?
Yeah, this morning was like actually kind of cool out. It was cloudy. Felt like rain was coming. It's definitely different now.
What's my computer battery say?
Just over half.
Oh, so it's chewing through it.
It's true, yeah. It's plugged in too.
I wonder if we can grab that bag of ice, put the rain jacket over it or another one, and then set it on top of there.
Where's the ice?
Some in here I bought.
Yeah, but then I can't shade it. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah, you could shade it. We got other rain jacket devices in here.
All right, I'll do it. If it comes unplugged, it's because I'm messing around back here with
Here, let me do it for you, Mitchell.
putting a bag of ice on the
I'll
computer.
do this part. We're pulling out all the stops here on a 90-degree flat calm day to make this stream even doable. I was kind of worried about stuff just getting way too hot. I don't have to start the big motor this whole time, so that should save us a little bit. All right, let's pick that thing up real slow.
Yeah, give me a second here.
We're literally gonna essentially put a bag of ice on the computer for you guys.
Yep. Oh, we got it. I gotta move it real slow. Oh, here, hold on. I gotta unplug this. Might as well answer these questions while you're here. Do fish suspending over
Try
deep
that.
water usually tend to stay near structure, or will they just go around in no man's land?
Both. I mean, ultimately, structure is not what's dictating what the fish are doing. Are we still broadcasting?
Yeah, we're still good.
Structure is not generally what will dictate where those fish are. It's a lot more things, but they will use the way outside edge of structure often. You guys are just tuning in. We appreciate having you guys. We are not on a numbers fish hunt at all. This is my favorite thing to do, which is scour the basin. Walleyes. And it's a low numbers thing, but unless you're on just like stupid good lakes. Oh, that breeze, Mitchell. Oh.
Oh. Give me some breeze. Do you have water in that cooler on ice?
No. I don't mind drinking like warm water.
I mean, like we don't have any.
What's that?
We don't have any.
Warm waters?
Yeah, I mean, I have one right here.
There's only a few there's only a couple waters in there?
Yeah.
Oh, really? How many we got left?
The one I'm drinking.
That's it?
Yeah.
You already chugged 2 waters out here?
Yeah, I had to.
Dude,
Yeah.
you left me with nothing.
Well, we got some lake water.
Well, I guess I'm literally gonna go the next 4 hours with no water then.
We'll live show thermocline.
If it's set up really hard. Some lakes I'll see it, some I won't. Here it's clearly not set up that hard yet. But then I was on a lake 2 days ago that had just a hard line at 15 feet. And whether that's, oh, we got a fish here. We're gonna hit this one with the mighty slow jig, which sometimes can be painful because they're gonna get out of the way before your bait gets down there. See it? Oh yeah, he's all over it. Just ate it, right there. I think anyways, that or he just touched it. No, he's got it, he's got it. Right there.
How's it feel?
I mean, they're all gonna be big.
Yeah,
what do you think, Mitchell? Does it look big?
No, that one's looking good. That's why I was asking, because that one looks different.
So that was on that real light jig, and we got some really good videos on the app talking about how I like to fish this.
I'm gonna say this is that 26 or 27 class.
Could be. But it's a lot less jigging than, it's like, a jigging is not really how I would describe this presentation.
Woo! Love when walleyes do that. Flashbacks of Fort Peck right there.
This is how they were yesterday too.
Some drag peeling fish.
I caught a 37-inch pike yesterday too out here.
Dude, that was a big head shake. Now I'm starting to second guess, is this an actual walleye?
Acted just exactly like a big walleye. Didn't act pikey at all. You're gonna see him right here, Mitchell.
Yeah. Let's scoop and score. What is it? What is it?
About 5 feet down.
Big walleye.
Mm-hmm.
Big old walleye.
He ain't even that big a one.
No, he's not 27.
This is what we're after though.
Man, listen to that battery. It's insane.
Yeah. Net him, boy.
Oh.
Might be the heaviest one of the
Oh,
day.
yeah, he's heavy. He's real heavy.
That was a textbook jig crawler bite right there.
Bump him, he's definitely 26.
No, he's not. He's gonna be 25 on the dot.
We'll see, we'll see.
He's gonna be 25 on the nuts, is my humble opinion. Shout out, Thousand Lake Sport Shop, Grand Rapids, Minnesota. 25 and a half. 25 and 3/4 if you guys want to get technical about it.
That was close.
Working our way there, baby. How about that one? Whew. That's what we like to see.
It's wild, dude. It is sitting here looking at these fish that are 26 inches, which is a pretty big fish anywhere, compared to a Fort Peck walleye, and it's just like, it's not even close.
I know.
It's crazy.
Well, ever since I've been back from there, I've just been like solely fishing for bigger fish, so it hasn't really been that much of an impact, but actually, I'm not gonna lie, I was on that lake with Pete and his dad the other day, catching a bunch of 15 to 20 inchers. It's having fun, you know, so it's not like it's not fun catching smaller ones after you get big fish spoiled, but
Yeah.
it does, going to like exclusively big fish locations and then coming back to like lakes where they're just like a good day, which there's a lot of lakes where a good day is catching 15 to 16 inch walleyes and putting 4 of them in the boat. But it is harder to do after you come back from like the land where megalodons lurk the waters.
Did we see anything super groundbreaking at iCast?
Saw Mitchell bust his ass. That was out of the norm.
What?
Saw you bust your ass. That was
Oh yeah, I was working my ass off.
exemplary.
Shut up. Out of the norm. Yeah, I was
Nah, what? The 1 ounce search bait, I'm incredibly excited for that.
Yeah, some cool stuff coming. As far as like other stuff, I don't think so.
What else did we see that was like, oh wow, that was cool? This live stream's gonna end when I pass out because Mitch drank all my waters.
Whatever, you'll be fine.
You better start a water
You'll be
filtration
fine.
system back there, Mitchell. At hour 2, we drink our own urine, so stick around for that. Rod I'm using, 7.3 on this jig, 7.3 medium light fast Elliott. This rod is probably one of the best finesse jig rods. If you're gonna have like 2 walleye rods and that's all you're gonna have for the rest of your life, one of them would be this rod. Now, the great thing about Elliott is, maybe some of you guys are familiar with it, maybe some of you guys aren't, but Two Brothers Innovations is the Elliott rods, the 2B rods, and the series rods. And you can get this same actioned rod. Obviously, some things will change. The Elliott's the elite level rod. The 2B is kind of the middle of the road rod, which is still a really high level rod. And then the series is kind of like the more price pointy rod. And really kind of wherever you're at, however much money you're looking to spend on a rod, you can get this same 7.3 medium light fast action in whatever model you're looking at. But basically this model of the rod, the way it's tapered, is perfect for fishing like all your finesse presentations as a walleye guy. And that's why it comes with me everywhere I go, really all year long. Got something really moving fast here. Should I put a search bait on it? Can't tell if it's bait right now or if it's a single big walleye. Or it could be a big pike or something.
I tried this method the other day. It's harder than it looks to keep the fish and bait on the screen with wind and wake from other boats.
Definitely.
What
Anybody who says that like this is a cheating style to do it, I totally understand why you would think that, but let me tell you this, there is a lot of small things that go into, you know, hitting fish clean there in deeper water, manipulating a bait in fish's face, doing all the things to make them bite it.
Yeah, and working through them fast and getting to them
That's
fast.
the other thing. If you just do this like at a snail's pace, like you're just not going to get into a lot of fish throughout the day.
There's a lot of small things involved. But as far as the technique, no, it's just honestly a lot of time doing it to kind of perfect it. And you know, I would say maybe the only technique that helps in the wind is like if you're fishing from the bow to nose in the wind.
And then if the wind gets too big and I can't go into it, I just don't have the control or everything's coming out of the water, I'll either put like a big drift sock out the back and then go with the wind. The only downfall about doing it that way is that you essentially get like 1 or 2 quick cracks at the fish. You don't like get to chase them around, you know. But yeah, obviously like for this specific style of fishing, calm is your friend. We got some rascals moving real quick out here.
Fishing for walleye in a weedy lake, no rock, where would they hide?
Give me a second here, I got some customers.
Well, they'll be in those weeds, or they're gonna be suspended out in the basin on that lake.
Dang it, dude. Somehow that one did not engage with me. Switch over to the jig. Long way to the bottom here, boys.
Does Kalen's have any other new baits coming besides the 1 ounce search bait?
The Flash Shad, which is one that me and Mitch got to test this spring. Mitch got to film all the promo stuff for it. That one's gonna be an absolute spring destroyer. If you guys wanna look at it, it'll be on my Instagram, you'll see it.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool bait and it works. There's some other cool stuff coming.
Come on, dude. Oh my goodness. He bailed off on me.
This lithium battery is going to start a fire in the boat.
Yeah, it might. I'll just, if it starts to incinerate, just chuck it into the lake. This one played tough love on me here. He didn't want to be a movie star, I guess. Might be a small fire hazard. Wow, I got him to turn.
Got one any tungsten jig heads yet from Kalen's?
Yes.
That is one of the cool things. That
You want to show him, Mitchell? We can start showing all this cool stuff now.
Oh yeah. Here, I'll show it to
All I got him in
this one is a cool color.
all I got him in is 3/8 right now. I was begging to get some quarter samples, but
Flip the screen so if you guys can see this. Which one is this? This is 3/8.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is a 3/8. Profile is just absolutely tiny. I don't know if it's focusing. I can't tell. But you can see these like little mirrored window things on it. Super cool. This
has a ton of flash.
This camera lens is so dirty. What are you doing? What are you doing to me here?
Hey, my job is to catch the fish.
Well, you're not even doing that good. I don't know how good that shot was, but jigs are cool.
Yeah, when you're broadcasting in stunning 960 by 540, just to be able to do these live streams.
Super high quality stuff.
So I've made multiple casts of this one now, and he has not bit. But we're gonna
Ever fish without live scope anymore? Well, I fished today with no electronics at all.
That's impressive, Mitchell.
We caught fish.
Good work.
I was totally blind.
Winnebago, we just filmed a video where we did with no live scope.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should keep wasting my time on this one.
Seeing as you're mainly catch and release, what are your thoughts on depth and barotrauma?
So, here's my honest belief. Now, there's going to be nothing specific about this leaf, and it's going to be not at all scientific. But one thing I've noticed multiple things. One is that fish will happily go below a thermocline at times, willingly. So, one second here, I'm going to lose my train of thought. But one thing I notice a lot is that, remember how we used to always think that like fish wouldn't like fly around up high in the water column? A lot of these fish will, as you guys see, like they'll shoot from 35 down to 5 feet below the boat in 2 seconds, and just when you're like screaming a bait in. So one thing I've noticed for sure is that fish are willing to go up and down a lot more than we previously thought. Now, do I believe that? One thing I take pretty seriously is that when I am fighting fish on days like this, or like handling fish, I try to get them back as quickly as possible. Because if there's one thing that seems to be more harmful than the depth is if they're in a certain depth range and the surface is really hot. So I try not to like sit around, dilly-dally around from the boat a long time if the surface is really hot, because these fish are in cooler water way down deep. But do I think that, I'm saying there's a lot unknown, I think, is what I'm saying. I also see it more on small fish. Like let's say I caught a 13-inch walleye in 40 feet of water and just screamed it to the surface. See that, those fish much less likely to live than I do like if I hook a big fish 30 feet down and it fights its way up.
Pete said we were at Peck a week too soon. It's on fire right now.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Said search bait's on fire. Glad to see that they're
Classic fish and tail. Should have been there yesterday. I mean,
yeah.
That's those big fish destinations, whether it's like a, Fort Peck, a Green Bay, blah, 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 wherever you might be talking.
Chippewa flowage.
I could fish all day for one bite. So I never have a complaint like on the numbers. Now, would it be cool if you just showed up and every mark you casted at you caught? Yeah, of course that'd be cool. But it's never a bad time when you're catching several fish in the 10-pound range a day, obviously. Especially if you're just from lowly northern Wisconsin, Mitchell.
Well, we do have the Chippewa flowage, and that's a big water destination, big fish, bite. Just joining, what are your preferred settings for transducer angle and forward angle while using Mega Live forward mode?
So we got a really long video on Walleye Now talking about this. But right now, I mean, you could see kind of like my settings here right now. What have we caught? 3 big ones? 3 big ones and I lost one.
Yeah, you had 2 bites that you missed.
Oh yeah, that's right. Overall though, pretty solid start to a mid-afternoon big fish hunt.
What do you currently have your contrast set at?
20. Or dynamic contrast on high right now.
What is the most annoying question that comes up during these lives?
The most what?
Annoying question that comes up during these lives.
Remember one time Pete asked me where walleyes go to bed at night? And I didn't know it was Pete.
Yeah. That is a good question though. Where do they go to bed at night?
It's a legit question.
I don't think you know the answer to it.
In my studies, it's still open-ended question here. How's the battery life of my computer?
I mean, it hasn't moved, so.
So it's possible the bag of ice on the computer has helped?
No, I mean, it's like, I actually think it went down a notch under half. So.
I mean, cooling is probably...
The computer's cool. It's cooled down a lot. It helped a lot. But I don't know.
Okay. Can that same cord that's plugging in go into the bigger box or no right now?
Yeah, I can. I mean, we still have some time, so just keep fishing.
Yeah, I know.
I'll let you know if we start losing power.
I hate to do your job and my job right now.
I know. You're not even doing your job well, so focus.
Focus, young one. Oh, we got a culprit out here.
Oh, it will not reach.
Won't reach?
I'll figure it out.
Come on, see it. See it? He's got it, boys. Drag check. Incredibly light bite. Oh! How? Sometimes you gotta wonder how that even happens. He must have dropped it or something. I'm surprised he did drop it.
Chomped your crawler off.
Now we're going for the backup plan here, which normally doesn't work that good at this distance.
Why no videos on Upper Red Lake during the summer?
I don't know. I don't even like going there in the winter.
Kalen seems to have an issue supplying the Fire Tiger search bait. Is there going to be a remedy? Well, in 2 weeks, there'll be plenty available.
There's another shipment coming, so if you're lacking on search baits, I would recommend being online in a couple weeks. Gosh, dude, I can't believe somehow that fish didn't just drop it.
I can't believe it either.
I never had anything.
You know what it's like for me to sit back here and watch you whiff on that?
I was fishing the other day on a Great Lake, and dude, I can't tell you how many did that. Most time I just, like, before I set the hook, I look at the live again to make sure I had it, but I haven't had any drop it out here. And
you had a full crawler on, right?
No.
That time? You didn't? Oh. I mean, he definitely looked like he just kind of...
Maybe he dropped it.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like he had it all the way.
Oh, he is eating it.
He definitely ate your crawler off of it. He said he's seen that before, that bait jigging above his head.
Probably.
Not stupid.
He's like, I know if I just bite the tail of this little thing, it'll be good.
Said he doesn't want to go on a live well today. I run Garmin Electronics 16-foot Yarcraft tiller. What would you suggest for a bow mount trolling motor?
If you want to put it on the barrel of a trolling motor, get an Ultrex Quest. It's by far, I mean, we got to play around with that one at iCast, and it's just insane.
Yeah, that thing's unbelievable.
Can't say enough good things about these Quest series trolling motors. They're incredible. If you're someone who likes to have the Tarova, then obviously the Tarova Quest, which is what I have, is absolutely insane as far as power and how quiet it is and how good the battery time is and all that stuff.
Also, I mean, if you're running a Garmin, maybe just pair it up with the Garmin trolling motor.
I cannot say if those are good or bad, but
yeah, that's the thing. I have no
that.
idea, so I can't.
The Minn Kotas I have are bulletproof. Come on, Breeze, you can feel it like trying. Can you guys watch and feel that or no? What are you dumping out, Red Bull? I was gonna say, I wouldn't doubt if you're just out back there dumping out water so that I can't fish that long.
Yeah, that's definitely
I'm
something
just trying
I
to
do.
sabotage my live stream. Definitely a fair amount of fish in this kind of like quarter-mile square, but I think I'm just gonna keep moving on. By a lot of fish, I mean like there's like 8 in there somewhere. The depth of water we're in right now is 56 feet.
When are you guys making another trip to Minnesota?
I am tomorrow. You guys notice too, I just haven't seen any small. It's just like big individual mark here, big individual mark there. That's pretty standard issue for this location.
Are you happy with the weight of the new brushless Minn Kota trolling motors?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not concerned about weight at all on my boat. I mean, obviously all these big 112 trolling motors are heavy. I couldn't care less about that. Even I'm partially like, give me the more weight possible. It lets me plow through stuff better, wave-wise. Keep my bow in the water, but I have zero complaints about these Quest Series motors.
How do you find basin walleye without live scope, side down, down or sonar?
Yep, in a mud basin or sand basin, you can side image them. It'll just be a mark way, and then there'll be a shadow like way back behind it. And then generally trolling was always something we did for years and years and years, and caught a million fish doing it. I mean, some days it's more effective than this probably. I couldn't tell you. I just like having a jig rod in my hands. My favorite way to fish, so that's what I do. But you drive around, if you start seeing like a mark or two, you know, big lone mark, 20, 25, whatever down, just keep it. The important thing to remember is like, what depth is that fish down, right? So if the fish like in clear water like this they're all 25 down, I'd run all my stuff at 20. It's better to run it up over them than it is to run it right in their face or below them, obviously. And we've done years and years of trolling like that. In fact, on this YouTube channel, there's probably 1 million videos of us doing that.
So the 53-year-old can still scoop fish.
Say that again?
The 53-year-old can still scoop fish.
Mitchell.
Scoop 'em with the best, baby.
That's you.
That's me.
That guy was that a comment?
Yeah.
The guy clearly didn't watch the
Well,
Winnebago
I
video.
didn't say that myself, so yeah.
The guy clearly didn't watch the video from Winnebago. If you guys watch that video and watch that last fish catch where Mitch botched me out of the biggest walleye ever recorded in history.
It would have happened to anybody.
It is a funny watch though.
Tom, would you consider doing a fishing guide giveaway?
We've always talked about it. potentially doing it. See here, what do I got? Eater-sized walleyes.
What's the difference between Quest and the normal Turova?
Brushless, way quieter. It's a
Way more
forget the
power.
name of what they call like the turning mechanism, but that's different.
Yeah, it is definitely quite the upgrade.
Yeah, they are an impressive unit.
When are you gonna fish a river again?
Well, I think that is in the very near future, as a lot of these rivers have finally came off massive flood stage.
Wade says he can't wait to meet you at the Warrior dealer meeting in August. Wade,
Heck yeah, Wade, I'll see you there.
disappointed. The guy is not nearly as cool as
No, I'll probably let you down. I'm
he is on camera.
just literally a normal guy, so, you know. Oh, come back, dude. You got to touch it again. Dude. He was just munching at Mitchell. It's
You
not
saw
gonna...
the fish biting at it?
What's that?
You saw the fish biting at your bait?
Well, you know when they come up to the search bait and they just like, you can just feel them like pulling on the tail of that crawler?
Cheating, bro.
That's what he was doing. I don't know if I can get away from him far enough to put a jig on him or if I might have just spooked him. Here's a bunch of, these are what suckers look like right here.
Do you ever bottom bounce anymore?
I haven't in a while. It's not at all that it's not a good way to fish. It's just if I can run around with one rod in my hand and jig fish, I mean, good luck getting me to do something else. Now, there's some bites where we're like, oh yeah, this is clearly like trolling is going to be the way.
I don't think I've pulled bouncers in 2 years. This being the third season of not
Still a
doing
killer
it.
way to fish.
It is. It's a great way.
I was like a quarter second away from setting the hook on that fish.
From what?
I was like, my muscle fibers were like twitching saying set the hook, but I just knew it needed a touch more to catch that fish, and now I'm second guessing it.
Oh boy.
But in my experience, it is by far the best decision on a search bait to wait to set the hook. Let the rod load up.
Yep, definitely. It seems crazy, but you will lose a lot less fish if you...
No different than
Actually
spinner
just-
rigging.
right,
If you're
let
trolling
it-
bouncers
yep.
and like you watch a board going back and you like set the hook, like you're gonna lose a lot of fish.
But if you're just like really quick twitch, like used to the popping jig snappy bite, you will lose a lot of fish.
Yeah.
I have a side console and want to go tiller but never had one. It would be aluminum for a family of 5. Is there a lot more room but just get more wet, or just get a bigger side console? I mean, if you have a family of 5 and you're looking at aluminum tiller, like the boat I have, the Lumacraft 205, or like the 20-foot Lund,
You're gonna get very wet in that boat.
you'll get very wet if you're fishing really big water. Otherwise, majority of the time you're not going to get wet or anything, and it is a lot more room. It's wide open, and I mean, it's just the way to go.
If you want the king of tillers.
He said aluminum, so
Oh.
do I have my own guide? I do guide, but I don't have a lot of time to do it much because all the other things going on. I guided today though, and it did not go well because I don't have electronics working at all, which means my boat has to go sit in the shop for a while and get rewired. Tom, somebody said you're pretty cool because he talked to you on pool 4 of the spring in a duck boat.
Oh, I remember that guy. I think he's got a boat similar to mine, the XL, but with a mud motor on it.
I had to have been there too, right?
What's that?
I'm guessing I was there too.
I was by myself that day.
Oh, you were? Okay. Tom, how long will you hold on to the old Warrior?
What's that?
How long will you hold on to Warrior?
I mean, I hope to be in a Warrior every year for the rest of my life, which is pretty much what everybody does after they get a Warrior. But this one will be for sale this fall. I don't think it's sold yet.
Have you heard when Humminbird Live will be as good as Garmin Live?
I have heard there's things coming,
Yeah.
so
We shall see. We shall see. Tom, what was your biggest walleye and where did you catch it?
I caught a 32-incher in Green Bay one time. And that was honestly probably one of the last years I carried a bump board around with me.
Yeah, definitely caught some fish over 30 on Fort Peck.
I don't, just for the record, I do not care about measuring fish at all. Even if it's like 32, I couldn't care less if I know it's 32 or if I'm just like, damn, that's a big ass walleye. It literally doesn't matter at all to me. Now, why I started carrying a bump board around with me this year, because we get so many requests to do it, that I just said, screw it, I guess we'll just start measuring fish.
Wait,
Since we've been measuring fish, my numbers of 30 inches have gone up drastically.
Yeah, exactly. That's why
Over the course of the last couple weeks.
You also keep the bump board in the boat now, so every time you box one, you're making sure it's legal.
Yeah, I did keep my first walleyes of the year. I kept 2 out of that Great Lake I was on. They just died, dude. I don't know what happened. They actually choked jigs is what happened. Luckily, one was a 19 and one was like an 18-incher, so.
This time of year, how would you fish the dishpan lakes of northeast South Dakota?
Yeah, so those lakes, there's obviously always some fish shallow, but a lot of times any rock, like deep, shallow, any kind of wind-blown rock you can get on, or some of those fish will just hunt basin mud too. So there could be fish in a lot of different places out there. But I will tell you a bait that I know would work there, and that's a search bait, because search bait literally works everywhere walleyes exist. It's just more of a matter of how deep are you going to be fishing them. So if you guys are watching or just chiming in, what I'm doing right now is a pretty common thing where like you just go 20 minutes without seeing any fish. And I know we could just get in that area where we were fishing and probably just keep doing merry-go-round circles and seeing more, but it's not as fun as exploring, you know? I mean, we are basically right now in the middle of, we're sitting in 62 feet, and there's virtually nothing around us. And so we're just out here in no man's land. Which,
I got a request to show the search bait again.
show the search bait again. That's it, baby. It's the hottest walleye bait I've ever used. One other question I always get is, why is a search bait so expensive? Which I could see if you're just looking at a bait like, dang, $11 for a jig, that seems like a lot. It's tungsten. So that is the #1 reason. I mean, it's literally like 3 times as expensive as lead. Lead is literally dirt cheap. So the thought of buying a lead jig that costs 2 cents to make for $2 is insane. I mean, it's basically, you're talking the same, you know, margin, except for it's going to tungsten, which is just way more expensive, unfortunately. But the tungsten, in my opinion, is one of the big things that make that bait what it is. Keeps it small and compact. A lot of times walleyes, especially more fickle ones, don't like big, giant, bulky objects, right? Essentially, the head of that bait is just the vessel to transport that bait to whatever depth the fish are. So like, you know, if you had a big, giant 1 ounce piece of lead on there, it'd be massive. It'd be like the size of like a silver dollar. And that would obviously make some finicky fish a little weirded out with a crawler right behind it. So the tungsten was like, when that bait was getting made, I remember just, they would ask me like, does it have to be tungsten? Because it's going to be expensive if we have to make it tungsten. And I was like, yes, it has to be tungsten. Because it was super important to me.
Do you guys have any desire to fish competitively?
I never have.
I
I always said one day I'll have a midlife crisis and then I'll just you guys won't see a video uploaded for like 12 or like. Let me show you how to do this. So then you got a full on, you might be able to just do it like this. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know
we
if
can
it
come
can
back
be
to it.
started. Yeah.
Okay, so we can do this. What did I click on? Main. All right, so now we gotta come down to the next one. Bada bing, bada boom. It's set to that. Okay, we're good to go there. Didn't you guys like live stream video games or anything?
Don't you?
No, I don't, but some of you guys do. Or just live stream your church service. That's actually one place we got a lot of information. Did you notice that when we were doing research?
Yeah, church service.
A lot of people would live stream church services. But
do we did you put
what do we got?
batteries in
Did we lose audio?
there? We should be good. Should be good.
Can you guys hear us? Check, check. Mic 2, 1, 2. I have a whole case of water sitting in my garage getting ready for this trip this week. I was like, I'll throw them in tonight when I get ready to leave. Come in handy right now, though. How's your water filtration device working back there? Have you figured it out yet?
Yeah, I got 50 gallons already brewed up.
Nice. If you guys are just joining, Mitchell chugged all my waters before I even got it.
Yeah, I
tasted.
drank 2 waters, and this guy brought.
I thought I had
3,
more
so
in there.
Whose
That was
fault
my
is
bad.
that? He also loves to pick a live stream after I have to fish all day, and then hop back in.
Feel so bad for you having to fish all day.
You know, seriously.
Do you know how many hours a week most people spend at a job, Mitchell? It's like 40 to 50.
Yeah, do you know how many hours a week I spend working?
12?
Hell of a lot more than 40 or 50.
You guys know I'm joking. I just like to give Mitchell a hard time.
Yeah, mics are good to go. It should be good to go.
Well, I sit up here trolling motoring across the basin and haven't seen a fish in half a mile.
Pressure's on. Pressure is
I'm
on.
not pressured at all. I know I can go back to where I was, or I know eventually. I mean, this is the realities when you fish this way. It's no different than big trolling passes. I mean, when we used to troll big basin areas, you might set up in an area, you found some fish, troll them, catch, 3, 4, 5, 6 fish, do good. And you're like, let's move over that way farther. And then you might go a mile with just not seeing a fish or getting a bite on trolling. And then all of a sudden, ding, 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 you get in an area where there's a bunch of life again. It's just kind of how this style of fishing is. Where like, if we were to go on structure right now, I know I could ping pong like ding, 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 go to like these 5, 6 spots and kind of constantly be around fish. My average size would go down a lot.
Have you ever tried the original Erie Deary as a search bait?
I have tried Erie Deers way back in the day. It's essentially the same premise, obviously. The search bait's just a way more modern, efficient bait than that bait. In my opinion. Some of you guys are probably like, screw that, the Erie Deer is where it's at.
What lake are we on for the live stream?
A lake very similar to a lake by you, more than likely. It's a couple thousand acres. There's some 80 feet of water, there's some weeds, there's some rocks. You guys know the deal.
Tom, are you set up with the one boat network?
Yeah, so I link all my graphs together, my troll motor together, except I have one standalone graph up here. And I like having one standalone live unit.
Tom's nickname is One Boat Network.
Mr. One Boat. We used to know this guy at a gas station that, I don't even know if this guy fished,
I don't think so.
to be fair. You guys ever notice that some people like talking about fishing or hunting more than they like the act of doing it? This was one of those guys anyways, which is fine. I mean, if however you want to be in the industry, be in the industry. But I fundamentally enjoy I mean, fishing is my favorite thing on earth. But anyways, this guy, every day we were in there fueling up. What did he kept telling us about his one boat network all the time?
I think he just said he really wanted to get a one boat.
Oh, he said he really wanted to get one. I thought he kept saying he was going fishing all the time.
You can't trash talk somebody that wants to get something.
No, I thought it was a different story than that.
Did I do any muskie fishing? Yes. Actually, a few years ago.
Dude, you haven't
I was
muskie
guiding,
fished in years.
What's that?
You haven't muskie fished in years, have you?
That's what I was just trying to get at. And last time I did it,
I haven't either.
I went hard into it like a few years ago when I was guiding full time, and I want to. I still really like it, but
Really?
I mean, I think I do. I don't know. Definitely not an expert anymore or anything like that. Probably never was, actually, to be honest with you. Far from it. But I liked it. How many times has the Vantage been used?
Say that again?
The Vantage. The trolling motor, it's not even on the boat.
Oh, yeah. Not gonna lie. Did not like those things. Also, never used it. I don't know if you guys watch my YouTube channel or not, but back trolling is not a big part of what I do.
Did we try this open water searching at Peck?
A form of it.
Tom, do you ever use those virtual glasses to watch live view?
No. Oh. It's either a muskie or a big pike. I don't know if you guys can see. I see how much that one was flying up and down.
Tom, on the Great Lakes that you fished recently, is there a good shallow fall bite?
Yes, I've never done it though. And it's very quiet.
Are you still rocking the gas station special glass sunglasses?
Yes.
I've bought.
You know, when you fish for a living.
You fish for what?
When you fish for a living.
Do you?
Occasionally.
Yeah, sometimes.
I mean, I sell some of my crocheting work on the side at the flea market, but you know, when you fish for a living, you don't get to get, you know, the cool glasses and the...
No. I mean, you can if you're just a responsible adult. I've bought 2 nice pairs of sunglasses in my life, and both of them literally flew off the boat, so I'm not doing that anymore. And by nice sunglasses, they were $100 Oakleys, not even that great. But they were the best. You know what I mean?
I've never had nice sunglasses. I bought a $60 pair one time, and those crack faster than the $20 ones that I buy at a gas station.
Dude, gas station ones hold up.
I am legally blind though, Mitchell told me the other day.
Oh my gosh, this guy literally cannot see anything.
We were at the airport and I was trying to read a sign that was like 20 yards away, and I was like...
Yeah, it was just like
Probably looked like I was...
It was our boarding information, and he
trying to see the dimples on the moon from...
He could not read it. Pretty sad. So if you ever see a Ford F-150 with dirt tamers on the back driving at nighttime, get the hell out of the way.
Yeah. Get over to the shoulder.
Yeah. Just go in the ditch yourself. You'll be better off.
Yeah. Probably just go get some glasses, huh? What do you guys think? Should I get those kind of glasses where they're like a polarized sunglasses, but they got the little circles in the bottom corners for like so you can read still?
Yeah, I think that's a cool look.
I think that's a good idea.
Or you should get like those little, you know, those little spectacle style. That
I like those ones that break apart right here. And
yeah, yeah. That they don't have like the. They only go under your nose. You know what I mean? You don't have the side.
yeah, they only go way out here.
Yeah, but they don't have like the head.
Oh, those things?
Yeah. Like they don't clamp on your head. They just sit there under your nose. Little round ones.
There's probably some elder folks watching going, you boys watch. No, the one reason I knew I was getting old the other day is, you guys remember zip-off pants? The other day I was thinking, damn, dude, I wish I still had some zip-offs.
Sweet invention.
Yes. I mean, at that point I was like, wow, you're starting to get old. I can't eat the hottest wings that I used to like anymore.
No,
it's really going downhill.
I can't do it anymore. It's funny. He gives me so much shit. I said, you wait.
No, it says you're tired all the time. I'm not. I don't get tired.
I'm tired of being around you all the time.
I believe that. Shelby says the same thing every day. I'd assume we'd see some suckers on this, huh, Mitchell? I'm on this deep corner here.
We're in sucker country.
Did you come on this yesterday?
No, I came out here, took 2 casts of walleye, caught it, left the lake. Came out here today to guide and to pick up the clients on the dock. Side imaging graph went black. Picked them up, started leaving, lost all my mapping.
Figured, you got serious electrical issue.
Yeah, I figured, you know what, I can still fish a little bit. To turn on live, I don't really need to map a ton of things as long as I know where I'm at. Then that graph went black. And then I got scared because I did not want to lose my live. So
I'm hoping.
Unplugged it.
You better be hoping you didn't blow them up.
Honestly, the way they shut out, it seemed like I blew them up. So that's why I unplugged live and I was like, we'll sit here and catch fish until we don't anymore, and then that's it. We caught some bass. They were bitey.
Nothing better than a good bass bite, am I right?
I like a good bass bite.
Oh, you rascal.
Oh man, I was like, geez, no one's like asking questions. I didn't realize I scrolled up and left it on the same spot. Holy crap, my bad. Let's see what we got now.
Oh. These are not going to be big ones, so they're not all going to be. So if I cast on these, and I'm not really going to get too concerned here.
Someone had an idea for a jig. Who would you suggest to talk to? That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. I don't know exactly.
I don't either. If your Mega Live isn't on the network, are you shutting off your sonars for no sonar interference? I connected mine to network to reduce my interference.
All right, I got one. So this one came out of a school of fish, so we'll see how big he is here. Dude, they're just holding on to it. Very strange, very strange.
We bite. John said, if you ever make it out to Hawaii, hit him up. He'll take us deep sea fishing.
Hell yeah.
That sounds awesome, dude.
Some of these fish are just...
I just have a feeling like some of this ocean or deep sea style fishing, it's like you do it once, and then it's probably
sure.
like, this is badass.
I'm sure.
Way cooler than what we're doing. Bifocal sunglasses are the best for us old farts.
See, there you go.
Come time to tie a knot. Dude, that's what you need, because this guy, honestly, he ties knots right now by feel. He cannot see the line. How old are you,
good job.
Do you even know?
I mean, I don't have like a problem breaking off.
No, do you know how old you are?
How old I am?
Yeah.
31.
31? Yeah, so Tom's 31, I'm 36. We had that question asked, that's why I asked you. Oh, excuse me, I'm 53, not 36. Forgot.
Not enjoying fishing for these small ones.
What's that?
Not enjoying targeting these smaller fish.
I mean, there's no wind today and I literally can't hear you. Maybe you can't see and I can't hear.
So yeah, we're on structure now and there's just a bunch of like schooled fish. These are not big ones. It's possible some of these individuals are, possibly there's two of them together right there, which I'm probably
Wait, where are we at? Oh, dude, these fish are bitey. They will bite.
Well, I can tell some of them aren't very big. I'm just not going to spend a whole bunch of time on
No,
them.
these are going to be eater-sized fish.
They're not acting the same. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm getting off of them. Don't like it.
First time actively going fishing for walleye. If looking to catch any size walleye, where would you target on a sandy, gravel, clear grass lake?
Middle of summer, I'd be looking a lot of 20 to 30 point extensions, deep humps, deep extensions that come off anything. What the bottom's actually made of means a lot less than the depth range and where it's situated around the basin. So I'm sure we could have like dilly-dallied around with those eater-sized fish in there and done some, caught a few, but oh, there's possibly a decent one here. Not a great cast though. Yeah, he didn't like anything about that. That one got spooked at the live beam. See how he just took off?
Any news at iCast regarding Humminbird touchscreen units at a lower price point?
I don't know anything on that, honestly. See how these ones on structure are just acting totally different? That's a pretty common thing to see. I don't really care about the structure ones. How many viewers do we have, Mitchell?
152.
Nice. I'm gonna get off of this and go back into the basin where I belong. It's tempting to cast at something like that there, but if you guys are just chiming in, I appreciate you folks being here. We are on a big walleye hunt currently. We're kind of sacrificing all the numbers of fish to go for just a couple of big ones. This one's sitting around a whole bunch of bait. I don't know if...
Have you ever been to the Arkansas-Missouri border lakes like Table Rock, Bull Shoals?
I have not.
What's that?
I have not. We always
Do
talk
we have a
about it.
breakdown for deep impoundment lakes? Just rock and submerged brush. Do we? I'm trying to remember.
Say that again?
Do we have a breakdown on a deep impoundment lake?
I mean, we got videos on some deep reservoir lakes. in the summer. That part's for sure.
Do you find the 10-inch arm on the TKI pulls necessary, or is it the way they come sufficient?
It all depends on your boat. David, I'm live streaming. What's up? All right, talk to you later, little buddy. I mean, it all depends on your boat, right? How wide your gunnel is. If I'm understanding that question properly, right?
I assume so. I mean, if you call up TKI and talk to Tom, tell him what setup you're running, he'll let you know what you need.
But if you go with the 10, you'll definitely be fine. It's a classic summertime day here, Mitchell, huh? Hello, folks. Enjoy your day on the water, right, Mitchell?
Hey, folks, we're just out here trying to catch some walleyes.
You guys seen any walleyes out here?
Enjoy your pontoon ride.
They're probably already limited out, huh?
They just spooked them all away.
I know, I did see one. There was one I had chasing a second ago, but he just didn't bite for some reason.
Well, I caught a fish here, so.
What's that?
I said I caught fish here. What does that tell you?
What's that? What'd you say?
I'm just messing with you. I said I caught fish here. What does that tell you?
Smallmouth.
No, walleye too.
One walleye yesterday.
I took 2 casts.
Caught one. Yeah, I can see
That's
how
a
you'd
pretty
catch.
good
I can
percentage.
see how you'd catch a bunch on top of that. We're Basin hunting, though, baby.
Oh, they have walleye tournaments from time to time, and usually they absolutely crush it with high weight bag limits.
Read that again.
He's talking about Table Rock and Bull Shoals on the tournaments. Any Lake Oahe trips.
Yeah, I was actually gonna go there this week, and then I realized it was Gov Cup or whatever.
Yeah. But so I assume that's in the cards here shortly.
What's that?
I assume that'll be in the cards shortly.
Yeah.
Maybe when I get back from Florida.
In a dead zone of water, trolling away. Oh,
Oh, I guess there's like a nice walleye lake in the Texas Panhandle. That's kind of cool. That there's like good walleye fishers just kind of scattered everywhere.
walleye are cool fish.
They
can
are
live
a
so
cool
many
fish.
places.
We need to like aim to make walleye fishing like cool, because it really is. For some reason, bass fishing is like the popular thing.
Dang it, dude! I missed that fish. Not happy about it. Oh, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Dude, some of these fish are getting weird on me. Oh, come on, dude. Wow. Interesting. Oh, the last 2 I cast out the jig, they did not bite. I'm good. I don't know where that rascal, oh, there he is. You guys see how I just had that fish all the way up to the boat and just couldn't get him to go. Just didn't like what he saw.
Do you find trolling in Minnesota unproductive with only 1 rod being allowed?
Not at all. I mean, on the good lakes, there's so many more fish there. It's like one line is more than adequate.
Yeah.
There's some situations though, like if you're fishing for super scattered fish where like, you know, I've filmed enough videos trolling in Minnesota by myself with one rod where it's like the thought of doing that again sounds miserable, but it's obviously still a killer way to fish.
I got a question for everybody who hates on live. Where it's allowed to troll 6 rods, how is that okay?
Wow, Mitchell, the level of hate that he used just...
What's that?
The level of hate that he used just unbelievable.
Well, I mean, like the live thing is questionable, but like it just hit me. Like, what about raking the basin trolling? I don't know. I guess they're different. I agree. Live is cheating. All right.
There you have it, folks. Hot take from Mitchell. Live is cheating.
All right, Tom. We've been live for 1 hour and 46 minutes.
See, I got some of these fish just not doing it for me. Don't like that as much. One hour, 46 minutes?
Yep.
3 big ones ain't bad in that amount of time. I mean, we should have had 2 more, I think, but...
No, I think you missed 3, so at 6 in that time frame, that's pretty good.
I've caught 4?
No, you caught 3 and missed 3.
If you're gonna call the ones that dropped the crawler a miss.
Did you not set the hook?
I did, but they weren't there. Is it a miss if they nip your crawler off and then you set the hook and they're not there? I mean, that's not really angler error. I'll take full ownership of 2 of those that I should have caught. But to put that 3rd one on me, Mitchell, that's out of line. You know?
I mean, I don't know. It's debatable. What do the viewers think? Chime in on that one. Do you have a way to cast a search bait overhead?
Yeah. Lob it. You see how nothing about that was fast, yet the bait still went really far?
You have to go without side imaging or live. Which would you give up?
The way I fish, I like to jig. I'd probably give up side imaging, although there's plenty of days where I'd be like, damn it, this really sucks not having side imaging.
How accurate do you think state walleye assessments are versus what you see in the water? Like, are they better at big lake assessments?
It's a good question. I don't really know, honestly. I mean, the more time they spend there, like the more net nights, and then year after year, the more data you have is obviously a lot more accurate. But on smaller walleye water, like, man, stuff can change a lot. Like, you can be on a 800-acre lake that said, oh man, in 2018 there was tons of walleyes in there, and then go there and it's just terrible.
I mean, you didn't let me finish, but that was basically this question on like the large done regularly versus small lakes.
Yeah, I mean, large lakes, bigger resource, they have more, generally they put a lot more hours in it, it's a lot more data to go on than just, you know.
Yeah, some of those small lakes are really hit or miss. Like, sometimes it's spot on and it's good, and sometimes you like read something, you get excited, you go there, and you're like, what in the world is this?
On the flip side, DNR netting is a lot like fishing, right? How you can go to one lake and just like in the spring and you're fishing all over up shallow and it's like just a few like 15 inches, and then a week later it warms up a little bit, the big fish are spawning, and all of a sudden it's like, this lake's loaded with 26 inches, right? So it's a lot of that too, in my opinion. Where I started, there was more fish than anywhere else, isn't there? Outside of just that big numbers point thing we looked at for a second.
Said you should jump in and go swimming, Tom. You're done for the day.
Oh, that sounds incredible to go swimming right now.
It does. It really does.
Unfortunately, I got about 3-4 more big walleyes to catch today. to reach my quota.
His follow-up to that question, could fishermen help with that problem, increase creel surveys or ramp surveys, or not needed?
I was always surprised that the DNR didn't consult with more guys who are like out there every day.
Yeah.
The problem is you fishermen are always lying, sons of guns.
True that.
Oh, dang it. As I was making that joke, there's a walleye right here, which I'm definitely not going to catch.
Do you ever Lindy rig? Would you rather use braid or mono mainline for that?
I mean, I don't Lindy rig, but I honestly, if I was in deep water, braid, shallow water, mono, maybe. Might be a halfway decent answer. Oh, this fish is moving way too fast on me. Now he's going back the other way. Let me just hit him with the search bait. Get that to him a lot faster. Nice, now he's gone. That one was acting kind of bassy. Oh, there he is. Or he's hunting that big pot of bait and I just can't track him. Ooh, but look what's creeping up out here. Another pot of fish on one of these deep humps.
With how much traveling you do, how accurate do you find Lake Master maps being? Find a lot of them not.
Yeah, I mean, mostly everywhere I go, they're pretty dang accurate.
Yeah, I
but
think so too.
obviously some places not as accurate. Got one. Eat it this time. Don't drop it again.
There we go.
There we go, baby. First he felt kind of small, now he's getting bigger. Super light jig. Crawler, levitating it above their head. He might be all right. I absolutely love the way this rod loads for fishing this way. Normally when I say something like that, I lose the fish right after saying that. So get ready for a lost fish here. Oh, we're keeping our average going, baby. Not giant, but another nice one. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. It's the smallest one of the day. Probably a 24-incher. 23 and a half. What do you think, Mitchell? What's your guess?
Let me
put spectacles on them.
23 and a quarter.
All right. That one got it good. Let me get my pliers real quick. Ginormous wakeboard weight coming at us. A lot of times if you get a semi-deep hooked fish, you can reach in through the gill, pop the hook backwards. Oh, I might not even have to on this one. It's hooked right in the roof of the mouth, and that part where they just never come off. There he goes. Now he's off. Look at that one. Whew. I'm going to. He kind of shrunk once I got him in my hands. It's 22 and a half. We were both wrong. Smallest one yet. Still a nice walleye though on a day such as this. There he goes, bolting back down. The old jig and a crawler. A revolutionary lure. Did you invent the jig and the crawler? Or do you remember how that started?
I did a couple years back.
You're like, man, you know, this crawler would really go good on a jig.
Yeah.
And you put one on there and you're like, wow, this is pretty good.
This is game changing.
It's funny how no matter what, like you go to iCast and it's like the rattle cruncher 3000 titanium build this and that, and then you're
Actually,
like,
there were a lot of titanium metal baits there, which
saltwater
is
stuff.
very interesting. Yeah, they look super cool.
and you're like, wow, that's sick. I should throw some of those. And then you go home and you fish a jig and a night crawler.
Yep. Yeah. You can't reinvent the stuff, man.
No, you
You
can't.
know? Tie yourself on a jig or a drop shot, or
How's my computer battery?
it's like quarter.
Let me look at what we got going on here.
It was just hot, not charging.
I'm gonna go like that.
That won't charge it.
Yeah, it will.
I had to switch. It stopped charging it.
You didn't have it turned on, I think.
Yeah, yes, I did.
Stick with us, folks. I'm trying to get us to be able to live stream for a longer duration of time.
Got a question. Do you ever miss your Lumacraft boat?
You want the honest answer? Not at all. Holy cow! Man down.
Wow.
I tripped on my net. No, not at all. I'm in love with these warriors.
How important is water temp in determining deep fish? Prefer in the late summer. Determining deep.
I mean, kind of when you reach like that 72-degree range. And honestly, it has less to do with what the surface temp is and how far down that warm water is pushing. Because you could have a water temp that's 80 degrees in late May, but if it hasn't like pushed down in the water 10, 20 feet, it's not gonna matter, right? But generally by after 4th of July, I always call that like the midsummer period. At least in my mind anyways, that's kind of like when all these midsummer bites really start going. I'm getting my light jig down to this fish currently. Any second now he's gonna change his demeanor. Yep, here he comes, here he comes. Just ate it right there. Pull the live off him, let him eat in peace without, oh, he's just running away from me right now. Think he's got it, Mitchell? Back-to-back cast, baby.
Nice, nice, nice. What you guess? 22, 23,
It's not feeling giant.
33.
I mean, but obviously, look at these things, dude. I mean, they're just going nuts.
Can't beat it. Cannot beat it.
Love it. How's it look from your side there, cameraman? It's just a beautiful summer day on the lake. Catching beautiful walleyes. Come here, buddy. It's closer to the size of the last one than the big ones.
A little bigger.
Touch bigger, half an inch. A little more meat on his bones. You know what I'm saying, Mitchell?
Yes, ma'am. What?
You guys want to see something weird? So obviously, like that fish bit. I don't know if this happened in the net. He's literally hooked in the side of the head. You see this, Mitchell?
I do. Yeah, that's.
I'm just gonna pop him off quick, but
Unless he just swung it at that.
no, he
hard,
100% came up pink.
Yeah, he
and then
ate
you
it.
just saw the line running away from him. There we go. I love how dark these Wisconsin fish get, man.
Yeah, that's a
It's
cool
pretty
one.
cool. 23. 23 and a quarter. Going back, baby. There she goes, all angry. Oh. All right, we're piecing it together. We're piecing it together. This is going better than our other live streams where we're doing it in a hurricane.
Yeah.
The last two were just like,
brutal.
I don't know what happened, but it was like the second we started live streaming, the wind picked up, it got insane out, and the fish were just, the bite was terrible. And then to follow that up, I just couldn't live with myself. I was like, I must produce a better live stream than that. So then I went out to a lake I knew I could just pile drive fish on. Spent a couple hours like fishing, trying to find where all the big ones were, found them. Set the stuff up, and it literally went from looking like this out to a 30-mile-an-hour wind and 4-footers in like 30 minutes time. And I was like, oh my gosh, dude, this live stream just kicking our ass. Today it's going better. Me and Mitchell had a little talk before time. We're like, hey, just focus, put pucks on net. skate hard and make it happen, right?
That's right. That's right. Make sure we got a nice clean cadence at the line of scrimmage and
Yep.
execute.
We've been drilling it all week. It's just
Yep.
time to showcase what we've been
Exactly.
doing.
It's just like practice.
Come on, pontoon. We're fishing here,
That
dude.
thing threw a wake, man.
They must have about 15 people on that sucker, huh? All right, we're back in the game. We're rigged up. Are there any more fish in my vicinity? Negative, Captain. Onward. Permission to move, Captain.
You got a question on your boat since you don't have a kicker when you troll, do you use big motor, trolling motor?
Both. So I can't take any short of ownership for doing this. I learned this from Kent Anderson. The Anderson boys, if you don't know them, they're probably some of the best trollers to ever live. And he'd put small drift sock out on both sides in this boat, and they troll with 250s. And they have a ton of control doing it. So I did that one time. I was lead coring and it worked really good. But honestly, with this trolling motor and a lithium battery setup,
Yeah, it's
you can
hard
troll a
to- yeah.
long time.
It'll
So I
last
haven't
a long
charged this
time.
battery. I fished for 3 days. I charged it when we were gone in Florida, and then I fished Pete and his dad, then I fished yesterday, and now I'm fishing today. What battery percentage do you think I'm at? I was gonna say 80 something. And I mean, we've probably trolling motor, what, like a mile total today even? Just in a little bit of time we've been out here. My trolling motor's at 87%. So I mean, like these brushless Taroas, and you pair them with lithium, and they are, I mean, you're gonna have to really be burning with it to wear it out. Wind will obviously play a big factor too, but. We got any questions coming in?
That was it.
What's that?
That was the last one. No, wait, never mind. Do you see changes of the bite coinciding with sun moon predicted bite?
To be honest with you
For
guys,
instance, today's high predicted solar lunar from 12:46 to 2:46 p.m.
I am one of the worst guys to ask that question to, mainly because I just don't even look.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, don't pay attention. So you can't say like it does or doesn't matter, but
Oh my
just
gosh.
literally don't pay attention to it.
Casted that whole crawler off right there.
Did you, however, pay attention to that when you were muskie fishing?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest. In muskie fishing, you just
Hope and pray.
believe in whatever will keep you out there a little bit longer.
Exactly.
And if that's telling yourself you're gonna get one at moonset, that's what it takes, then that's what it takes then. Come on, dude, he's just not going fast enough. Now he is. Oh, do you watch that one?
No, I read that Pete said, I just got off the phone with Mr. TKI. You guys will have to ask him about a South Dakota trip.
In a good way?
I'm
How'd they do it? Did he do all right in the Dove Cup?
yeah, I don't know.
Not gonna lie, of all the tournaments I've like seen stuff posted and like, I've been like, oh, that's the Governor's Cup seems like the funnest ones because
They do-
halfway
they
it's kind of like
actually
a
do.
party.
Yeah, they seem cool because it's just like a bunch of people that know each other. trying
I'm
to,
sure
like-
people take it really seriously, obviously,
Oh, yeah.
but
yeah, it's a tournament.
it seems like it'd be one of the more fun ones to fish.
It just seemed that way in Peck. It's like a cool club of like guys that just love walleye fishing and just like a cool atmosphere there. Some hardcore walleye dudes,
Kind of like you, Mitchell.
kind of like me,
Yeah.
kind of like you.
Guy just eats, sleeps, and breathes walleye fishing like
I
Mitch.
do. I might even give up deer hunting.
More importantly, Mitchell,
Dive into tournaments because I just really hate killing deer.
do
that
you
much.
have any decent whitetails starting to show up on trail cam?
Yeah. I mean, nothing I'm after, but last night I had a solid 8-pointer right now.
Really?
But did you hear what I was just saying though?
Not when you're gonna shoot?
No, I said I consider just like diving hardcore into the
Yeah, I mean, that's
walleye tournament
a complete
circuit
lie
versus
and it's not going to happen.
killing deer. Why?
Because it's going to be fall and you're going to be like, damn it, dude, I miss being in the woods.
I just don't like. Maybe I'll go film them or something instead. Start like.
You can film me getting, I mean, every video that I film for
I'm not
hunting
gonna film you hunting.
is going to be about the same. We're going to get out there, I'm going to be real quiet, and then it's going to be about, sun's going to be coming up, all you're going to hear is, and I'll be like, damn it.
Like, what do you think happened? Well, you haven't showered in a week, so that's probably what it is.
Hey, I tried, dude, on the scent control thing, but my biggest problem is I feel like I'm walking right past them trying to get to my stand every time.
Yeah,
Because, you know, I just got no earthly idea where those things actually live.
exactly. Are we going to do another musky bender?
Has been requested or not. The harder part's not for me and Rich to do a musky bender, but there's one individual we have to have if we're going to do a musky bender.
Yep, Bo has to be
He's
there.
going to have to free up his work schedule. We're going to have to load up on ibuprofens and
Yeah. Yep.
might have to get a walker for Mitch to be able to get out of the boat at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
So where those fish just were, there's big basin here, and then there's kind of a deep shelf. And those fish were kind of just not really locked down. There was that one pod that was kind of locked down to a specific thing, but you'll see a lot of those fish will just be out off the edge near that stuff. And that's kind of where some of those last couple I saw were. And here's another one kind of loosely out in here, which I don't like how close I am to him, but you never know. I'm gonna try to hit the brakes here. Hopefully he's deep enough and I can get away from him without spooking him. It's already not looking good for that whole idea because he's moving away from me.
When you were buying your boat, did you take a look at the Yarcraft 20-foot tiller?
I did not. To be honest with you, I saw these things and I was like, yep, that's... Well, actually, the first time I ever took one out in bigger water, that's when I was like, yep, I'm sold on this. And then everybody you meet that has a Warrior says the same exact thing. They're like, well, you're never not gonna have one after having one. And they are pretty much correct. Now, one day I might get old and end up with a steering wheel somehow. I don't know, we'll see if that happens.
Ever watch Seek One whitetail hunting?
Yeah, I
show?
actually really like that show.
Yeah, I like that guy too.
I don't watch any fishing YouTube, but in the fall, when me and Shelby like get done hunting for a day, we'll always watch hunting videos, and it's always like one of my favorite memories of fall. I mean, when we go out, we don't see hardly any deer, and then you watch and you're like, you know, watching other people kill deer. You like that guy, Mitchell?
I do, yeah.
What's that?
I do. I mean, it's different. I mean, what he's hunting is not like the same hunting we do, obviously, because it's like
Yeah.
small urban stuff, but it's nichey and it's super cool. And he goes hard at it. You know, he works really hard to do this stuff. So I'm a fan of his.
Yeah, that's one thing I always think about with like good hunting movies, and I'm sure fishing's the same way, but it's less about like, you know, a lot of times just going out and pounding a ton of big fish. I'm sure it's the same thing with hunting. It's much more about like the storyline and like how it all happened, you know. What do you think about that assessment?
The storyline?
You know, like, it's much cooler to watch a video where like a guy gets a buck on trail camera in September and kills it in late November finally after 90 sits of not seeing anything than is the guy who goes out and just like every hunt he's like seeing just whoppers, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easy to say like, oh, if I was Mark Drury, I'd kill those bucks too and things like that. But like, I mean, there's some people that hunt just incredible land and they're not very good at it and they still can kill big deer. But there's also guys like that who came from stuff like we hunt and, you know, they're just killers. They're good. But I mean, I kind of see what you mean by the story, I guess. I mean, I kind of enjoy like I don't even know how to explain it. I don't like videos where somebody goes out and sits on, I'm on my food plot in Iowa and I just shot a 150-inch deer and I couldn't tell you why, but you know, it came into my food plot. Those are the videos I can't stand. Because you could even go there and do that.
Me even?
Even you. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that even.
I was just sitting here looking at a Yarcraft online quick because I was curious about the tillers. Look pretty sharp.
Real popular out west.
I imagine they cost a lot of money.
I just sucked that fish so close to me and couldn't get him to go.
Yeah, these are sharp boats, man. Would you choose a softer or a medium power for big glide baits? Like softer rod or medium rod?
Definitely medium.
Oh, Tom, we finally got the first comment. When are you coming to Oneida Lake?
New York boys are back, baby.
They're back.
After I figure out how to catch this fish, I'll think about going there. I can't even figure out how to catch this one, so. And I'm moving on. I'm done fishing for those. If you guys are just tuning in, I appreciate you being here. We are on a big fish hunt today. We have caught 5 walleyes in 2 hours and change time span. Kind of bypassing things I deem as not big ones to try to get around exclusively big ones. We are catching fish on both search baits and a jig and a crawler.
Don't miss another live stream. Make sure you subscribe to Tom Boley's YouTube channel. Click that subscribe button again. You're gonna wanna go down there and turn your notifications on. Then you'll be notified each time we do a live stream fishing event. Then simply enjoy hours of live stream walleye fishing content.
Down, that sun has gotten a little lower. What's that? You saying? What's that? What happened? Oh. We appreciate you folks being here today. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, evening on the water.
Football season's fast approaching.
I know, I heard Caleb Williams is kind of a dud in training camp. Huh? Did you hear that too?
Nope. I know you're excited to watch football, though. I know you are.
I watch like
you
one.
can sit here and laugh all you want. I know deep down.
I watch one.
jacked.
I do enjoy
I know
a
you
late fall day where it's like, especially like an evening game. You know, drink a couple beers with the boys and watch a little football. Pretend you're really into it for a day. I mean, that's basically what I do.
I know you're the guy who yells at the screen. What play they should have ran.
I don't do that. I do get into it, like watching a good game.
You don't even know who your quarterback is on the Packers.
I like watching a good match. Now and again.
When you're on your hunt to find fish, do you ever troll while looking to?
I've always wanted to try that.
Yeah.
I just worry like I'd see a big group of big fish over here and have to like whip back into my boards. I think you could probably work out some kind of equation with like a 4-ounce weight and like a 30-foot lead, where like you could just put the 4-ounce weight down there, like whatever depth the fish are, and then just leave like a 30-foot lead to like an Aberdeen and a slow death, and I'm sure you could like catch fish doing that.
It definitely would be a really cool strategy. Like why not? Could you fish as you're fishing now in the basin with just side imaging?
Sharpshooting, you can if there's like groups. It's hard to get just one, not impossible at all, but I'd be doing it with either a big heavy slip bobber or a big search bait or a shiver minnow or a hyper rattle or something like that.
I mean, that's the only way we had it a few years back. Besides
Trolling was always my preferred way to fish these areas back.
What's that?
Trolling was always my preferred way
definitely.
to fish these areas back then, though.
The little bait's 20 feet back and they're 20 feet down and go.
Turn and burn, baby.
Oh man, I'll never forget one time. It had to be like, I don't even know what year it was. You were so jacked, you're like, dude, you want to come out and pull slow death with me?
Yeah, now it sounds brutal. Still a killer way to fish.
Oh gosh.
Used to catch a lot of fish running boards, 2-ounce bouncers, and slow death hook.
See, I always ran 1-ounce bouncers.
Yeah, actually I preferred 1-ounce bouncers too.
With 100 feet back.
Especially if you're like 3-lining it. You guys think I can catch this one that's right below me?
I think the 1-ounce search bait is going to be a killer trolling bait too.
Yeah,
Because it has that 1 ounce, you know, like that's the weight I prefer to troll at, and it's perfect.
Yeah, the nice part about that 1-ounce search bait is like there's a dive curve already created for it, right?
Right.
And it's going to be very close to like a 1-ounce bouncer. There's going to be no problem like going 1.2 classic spinner rig and getting that bait down 25 feet.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, it'll work great. You could put it out on boards, spread it out on boards, or just long line it. You know, I mean, definitely going to be pretty. I mean, to take a bait that you could actually do that effectively, and then literally have it on your casting rod and go cast too.
Yeah.
All in the same day.
Is there a wake board boat?
I don't know. I noticed that like this morning when I was out here, like phantom waves would just like hit me and didn't see a boat anywhere.
It is the middle of July on a super hot day and
Yeah.
on a busy lake.
Doesn't an ice cold beer sound good right now?
I ain't gonna lie to you, it does. Getting a bait on this fish sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds good too. How long of a lead to use when trolling? I can't see the last part. Have you ever pulled 12 footers?
Yeah, I used to always pull really long leads, especially in like pressured water. Have we had any buffering? Somehow we've managed to have decent enough service. It's crazy because our upload speed was 5 megabits. Yeah, or whatever unit in which they measure it in. Less over here, fish-wise. Sometimes there'll be some just like way off the edge this way, but we'll see. I'm so thirsty, it's insane.
You
Truly, Mitchell, go in that back right. Is there any water left in any of those water bottles?
Here, you You can just, I'll just give you mine.
You had one this whole time?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Saving it. I just gave it to you. That's how nice I am. Because you're working so hard up there.
This isn't lake water, right?
No, it's not lake water.
I thought we were out of water this whole time.
All right, Tom, for suspending nighttime eyes in 65 to 90 feet on a clear Cisco bite, would you drive around until you see big marks, or where you see Cisco in the right depth?
Yeah, I mean, ideally you'd be seeing marks. Sometimes what'll happen is those fish will get so high that you're not gonna see them unless you're using live. Like I've seen times where like all my fish are down like this, you know, 20 to 30 feet during the day, and then all of a sudden all that Cisco life starts coming up in the afternoon, and all of a sudden all the fish are like 5 to 10 down. Now those fish are hard to see on traditional sonar, obviously. So you might have to do a little bit of both, I guess would be the moral of that story. Should be good. Normally they're pretty good when it's hot like this. Full battery. Can't believe you were holding out of water on me. I was just dying up here.
It's awfully funny considering earlier your response was, "Oh, you'll be fine."
I mean, I would be fine, but if we have waters, I'm gonna drink them, you know? All right, I'm gonna get this one. This one's gonna be a big walleye. Go down, small jig. Should have casted a touch farther. This fish is moving. I need to change my presentation. Oh, where'd he go? Wow, I don't know where that one even went. But I don't like it. Must have got spooked to the deucer or something. Oh, there's another one. See how that one's just like hunting all around. I don't like that. That's classic of a spooked fish.
Damn. They said after fishing this tournament, he caught a 128-pound blue marlin.
What's that?
Caught a 128-pound blue marlin. That would be so cool. That's like, I think that's been probably my dream fish since I was a kid.
You always wanted to catch a marlin?
What's that? Yeah. Yep. Going on a fishing trip to the Churchill River system in Canada, fishing at about 18 to 30 feet, what would you recommend? Can't use live bait. Guides have no electronics.
I'd probably do something you can cover some water then. If the guides fish without bait or electronics though, my guess is there's a bajillion fish in there and they're just gonna bite pretty easy for you.
Just a ton of them. Canada, right? That's what I always hear.
Yeah. Give me a big fat mark somewhere, you know? Got a big fat mark way out there. Should we try to search bait one?
Yeah, definitely.
Should I go heavy search bait or light search bait?
Good question.
What's that?
Try both.
Maybe I'll go with the small one first. So flat calm, I can easily fish a light one if needed.
Oh, I guess 128 pound marlin is small. That shows how much I know about them. What are your indicators for a transition from summer to fall patterns?
Kind of just watching what fish are doing, you know. Like a lot of times these fish that sit way up high will end up like locking down to some of this deep bottom stuff as kind of summer turns into fall. I got a beautiful sight right in front of me right now though.
Tom, doesn't a tuna sub from Subway sound pretty good right now?
Sounds terrible, just like every time you bring it up. You guys can see they followed me there, but did not do what I wanted them to do. Have any of you guys tried the dreadful tuna sub from Subway since Mitch told you guys about it? Wow, dude, how did that not bite? Wow. Had those fish going twice. I swore that one was gonna bite, but clearly it did not bite. So I'm not gonna waste any more of our time on those fish. I'm gonna keep hunting. We're gonna slowly work our way across the big old basin and go in this direction. We'll see what we discover, except they won't leave me alone. Should I cast at them one more time? Oh, come on, you guys.
Got a question. The question: do you fish with forward-facing sonar, and if so, what do you think of it? Is it a good investment?
It's definitely a good investment. Another way to fish, basically. If you like jig fishing, I would highly recommend it. Just like any technology, there's, you know, it'll change how you fish doing some things and won't matter for other things.
Joel said it's shiver minnow time.
I tried them yesterday and the fish just did not respond to them. Some lakes you could shiver them all year long. Other lakes it's like all of a sudden like a switch will flip in August and like all of a sudden they'll go from like cowering away from those like big aggressive baits to eating them all, and then they don't. Then all of a sudden you'll see fish just like follow this kind of slow stuff and not bite. I mean, if you guys want some proof, I can try throwing one at one. If I do that after I said that, I'm sure I'll catch the first one I cast at.
That's the way it goes. What is the max depth you would target walleye? Essentially, like, not to kill them.
Oh, I mean, if they're like 40, 45 down, I'd say like, I mean, I've caught fish that deep and they've definitely seemed very fine before, but I don't keep fish anyway, so I really don't like the case of like targeting fish that die. I feel sick to my stomach if I catch a big one and it just gets hooked bad and dies. Just don't like it.
Do you watch any other YouTube fishermen, and would you collaborate?
I definitely would do some collaborations, I think, if it was something cool, but I watch essentially no YouTube fishing. It's like I do it every day, and like, I don't know, I watch a bunch of hunting YouTube stuff in the fall,
I mean, you like my YouTube channel and you collab with me all the time.
I do collab with Mitch a lot.
Stop, collaborate, and listen.
Holy cow, the guy's getting weird. The sun's getting to him, folks. Mitch, I'm gonna collaborate this fish with you here.
Let's see it happen. Throw the shiver minnow on him, see if it'll work. We fish Lake of
You
the
guys
Woods.
see how far that one chased? Oh my gosh, dude, how did it not bite? That fish followed me up to like 8 feet down and just went away.
They fish in Lake of the Woods, Minnesota. What would you recommend for lures for walleyes?
I mean, you got kind of two options out there. Obviously, you can go out there and troll a bunch of fish. You could probably cast a bunch of fish. I mean, it's kind of one of those places you can almost go fish however you want. You can do this out in the basin out there. And Lake of the Woods is a cool place. Oh, that breeze feels nice.
Do you ever check out any of the radio tracked walleye studies to see how the fish movement patterns change throughout the year?
I'll occasionally see one, like some crazy story, you know, like this fish swam 1,000,000 miles and now he's over here. Oh, I just cannot seem to get in front of these ones.
So you finally caught some walleye this week on the death rig. Fish were suspended. No luck prior. Well, awesome, dude. That's pretty cool.
It's always cool learning new ways to catch them. Wow, this one finally
How do you
engaged.
guys enjoy what you do now relative to a few years back before the channel took off?
I enjoy it just as much then as I do now.
I think I enjoy it more now.
It used to just be like, I would literally go out all day, every day, and like if I got done filming one video, I literally just would start on the next one that same day. Which isn't a great way to get quality content. But now it's a lot more like I try not to double dip too much times doing similar stuff and try to obviously mix up locations a lot. And obviously the more you kind of mix up locations, the more you kind of end up mixing up how you catch them, I guess. But and I'm done targeting this one. I've pushed this fish around for 200 yards now and not gotten a quality response here, Mitchell. Still there though. He's just looking at us right there, laughing at us.
You ever fish pool 9 or 10 on the miss?
No. We're back on the hunt looking for our next customer.
Where do you find the best lake survey information?
Generally, whatever state you're in, that state website. I don't even know like another way to find it, honestly.
Have you ever caught a walleye in Wisconsin?
In the state of Wisconsin? Is that the question?
Yeah, I'm asking it.
Couple. We went one time and caught a bunch there. No, I actually live in Wisconsin, so I fish a lot in Wisconsin. In fact, maybe even today we've caught fish in Wisconsin. How many viewers we got rocking and rolling, Mitchell?
151, or actually 147.
Nice, nice. If you guys are just tuning in, thank you for watching today's live stream. We've caught 5 relatively big walleyes for this lake, ranging from 22.5 to 25.5. Just kind of the upper class of fish on this lake. We're kind of just targeting bigger fish. You can see right now on the live, you can't see the bottom. That's because we're, for the most part, just targeting basin roaming walleyes with search baits and jigs. We didn't bring enough water out here to start. And then after getting really thirsty, Mitch was like, do you want a water? And I was like, yeah, of course I want a water. How's it going back there? How's our computer battery? Bad?
Don't miss another live stream. Make sure you subscribe to Tom Boley's YouTube channel. Click that subscribe button again. You're gonna wanna go down there and turn your notifications on. Then you'll be notified each time we do a live stream fishing event. Then simply enjoy hours of live stream walleye fishing content.
We do have apparently a dying computer battery. So, if it just randomly cuts out, you guys probably know what happened, but we're hoping that doesn't happen. Most time I figured we'd be good for like 7 or 8 hours live streaming, but it's probably just how ridiculously hot it is today. Can you turn my screen brightness down? Just enough so you can barely read it.
You ever use a drop shot? Does it work well?
Drop
Yes,
shot?
Sir, it does.
You guys aren't looking at him, but in the back of the boat's Mr. Drop Shot.
Yeah, it does work really well though.
Yeah, no, drop shot is a killer way to really catch anything. Bass, crappies, walleyes. Yep. I mean, it just works for literally all fish.
Obviously not for suspending fish.
Yeah. I've always wanted to try putting a really heavy weight on and then leading like a 7-foot lead with like a 3-way to like a slow death. But I got a feeling they'd get too spooked chasing the weight and not the slow death.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
I'm sure you could do it with like a 1 ounce or something, but it'd be painful to cast a little bit. So back before search baits or any of this stuff came out, I used to cast spinners all the time, and then it'd get to the point where I'd be fishing like 1 ounce tungsten bullet weights and essentially like putting a butterfly blade in front of them. And those things, man, you're trying to get down 25 feet, they'd get there quick, but you would tangle up so many times that it was just brutal to fish that way. I used to love casting spinner rigs. That was always one of my favorite ways to fish because I thought it was so productive, but obviously now we have baits where it combines the weight and the bait in one. Kind of going through the dead zone right now, but hoping eventually here we find some more fish. Got the trolling motor on high. Just working my arm off, scanning for the next fish. We got some skiers over here in a wake boat. Lots of folks out enjoying the weekend. Mitchell, are you enjoying your weekend?
Yes, ma'am.
Your happiness is paramount to me. Oh, we got some. How's it going? We got some local fans out on the waterway here today. Did you guys get off my fishing spot though? For real, dude. See there, you can almost see it's bait, but it's almost like a temp line right there. A lot of times when you see a lot of the baits strung out at the same depth, you see that's at 25 feet too, and that's a similar depth the walleyes are at. A lot of times throughout, as the summer goes on, that heat keeps driving down. You'll see that line become cleaner and cleaner. That breeze feels good, huh? There's nothing in this little area. What are you eating for dinner tonight, Mitchell?
I don't know. Maybe go or homemade nachos.
Homemade nachos?
Yep.
For dinner?
Yep.
Does sound good.
What's that?
Some jalapenos on there?
You know it.
Well, I like the sound of that.
Melanie makes the best nachos I've ever had in my life.
Really? Oh my gosh, dude, what's up with these last couple fish just following like hard and then not biting? Oh, that's painful, dude. That was a big fish too. I mean, he was just hot, dude. Hot to trot. But just couldn't sell them on it last second. Tough customers. Did any of you guys get a notification that I went live? I'm honestly curious how all this looks like on the other end. Are you subscribed to my channel, Mitchell? Probably not.
Do I?
Yeah.
No.
I subscribed to your channel.
Do you?
I was just curious if you got a notification or something. What did the folks say?
Nothing yet. Yeah.
They did?
Yep.
And obviously we always air that little flyer. If this is something you guys enjoy watching, our live streams, make sure you go to the bell, you hit subscribe, and then you turn all notifications on or something like that. And then you obviously you'll be alerted when we do a live stream.
Says we have a Lumacraft 20-foot boat in a tiny space up by where the Hummingbird fish finder is. And we're wondering how to hook up a forward-facing sonar to it.
So depending on what graph you have, your graph might already be able, if it's tiny, probably not, but you can get, so you need a head unit, obviously, that can play live. Helix 9 would be the smallest, and then you can just work your way up bigger, more expensive from there, whatever you want to do. And then you need to buy the live deucer. You can either run that on a trolling motor shaft or on a pole like this. If you're gonna run on a pole, then you're gonna wanna look in the description of this video and you'll see a code for TKI CNC, which is the mount I use. We put it in every single video. Then you will get your products and essentially put the graph into power, wire in power for the deucer. Then you will connect your deucer to the graph, and then bada bing, bada boom, put your deucer on the pole and you will have forward-facing sonar.
I'm gonna play the little infomercial on how to get notifications. Some do not.
Sounds good. I'm going through no fish right now. So.
Don't miss another live stream. Make sure you subscribe to Tom Boley's YouTube channel. Click that subscribe button again. You're gonna wanna go down there and turn your notifications on. Then you'll be notified each time we do a live stream fishing event. Then simply enjoy hours of live stream walleye fishing content.
I guess the Helix 7 Gen 4 Plus, you can run live on it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
It's actually handy for like ice fishing.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. I did not know that.
Oh, Mitchell, I was gonna tell you, there's a change coming. We got kind of talking code a little bit here, but there's a change coming. We won't need these anymore soon.
So I just heard something yesterday about a change coming with the...
But
units.
Hoping that comes before ice season, otherwise we're gonna need one of these.
Yeah.
Ice unit.
Yeah, that will not be fun. So, yeah, interesting.
Hang on here, Mitchell. I got a hot to trot customer probably. Come on, dude. Do you not see it, or what the hell's going on here? Yeah, here he comes. Oh my god, did you see that? What the heck just happened, dude? You think that was a walleye?
I don't know.
I had him coming at Mach 100. Still right here. I know my crawler's all janked up on here, but
Yeah, that crawler's a little messed up.
that was the weirdest bite I've ever had on one of these. It was like, wham, wham. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, piked.
Yeah, that was weird. It was like the duration of time that fish bit for would never make me set the hook, but how hard it was made me set the hook. Obviously, I still didn't catch it, so, you know, it's pretty cool. You know, that's just the kind of bite you guys don't get to see on an actual YouTube video. I don't know what the heck happened on that. User error, I suppose, huh?
Yep.
It always accounts for, you know, 0.01% of the bites you miss, I'd say.
Yeah. Or 99%.
99.99 repeating percent is just the fish not properly biting my bait, I would say.
You just didn't want it bad enough.
What's that?
You just didn't want it bad enough, that's
No,
all it
you
was.
didn't. You guys probably don't miss many fish either. That's what I thought.
Yeah. I'd have to really
Really sit down and think about the last time
I'd
you
have to
missed.
really go through my journal and see the
Your
last time I
logs.
missed a walleye.
Oh, man.
Do you ever run plastics on that search bait?
Yeah, where fish are really dumb. Come on, wakeboard boat. I thought we were friends. Trying to fish here, bro. We got walleyes on the scope. Wakeboard boats are under attack in the state of Wisconsin, though.
Yeah, they're trying to like ban it or something, aren't they?
I think it's just mainly about all the ballast water stuff.
Oh, okay.
I think it has less to do about the actual wake. Although I would say this, like if you had a cabin on like a 300-acre lake and you're doing that, like that is pretty excessive.
Yeah. Got a question for you. What is your favorite football team?
Boise State. Do they have a football team?
Yeah.
Nah, I couldn't even tell you. I mean, obviously I'm from Wisconsin, so the old Packers, but I don't really care about football.
It's like hunting. The guy's slowly getting into it.
Unless we play them Bears, baby, then I'll be a pretty big fan.
Yeah,
for
then the guy's a
weekend.
fan. Then he talks like he knows what he's talking about.
What's that?
I said, then you act like you know what you're talking about.
Well, I kind of halfway pay attention, don't I? I know the lingo, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you're a closet fan. It's just growing each week. Pretty soon you're gonna be saying, hey man, you know, next Sunday let's skip the live stream and get tickets to the game.
Yeah.
And your newest question is Trump or Biden?
Well, I don't know if you saw the news today, brother, but no one's riding with Biden. No one's riding with Biden anymore. Assuming you did not see the news today. We ain't gonna get all political on this show though, because I'll blow a fuse. Start having a weird twitch in my right leg and drooling out of the left side of my mouth.
Yeah.
One of my eyes will just ding, 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 ding.
You might fish better.
What's that?
You might fish better like that.
Maybe. All right, we're coming up to an area that should have some fish. I know that was kind of a long, rough little 20 to 30 minutes there of just going between spots that had fish. So I just saw 2 fish, and what would you say that distance is? Half a mile?
Yeah, probably.
So obviously, like, that's a pretty rough scenario to, like, just go through, keep going back through there. But if I get in an area where I'm like, ooh, there's one, you know, catch that one, let that one go another little ways. Oh, there's none, you know, then you're like, okay, I'll loop around in here for a while. Kind of just like if you were trolling. We need at least 2, we need 2 more big ones, Mitchell. Can the computer last that long?
I don't think so, so you better hurry.
Is it on red yet?
No, but it's going to be pretty soon. I have a feeling when it gets red though, it's gonna like
Be pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like hey, it's red, let's
You're telling me I better speed up my pace here.
better hurry.
If you guys are just joining, we have caught 5 nice walleyes. I missed 2. If you want to count that last one, I missed 3. Kind of a couple weird bites in there. But we're basin hunting big fish, so this is kind of what it is. It's not a whole lot of like interacting with a million fish. It's a lot more of this, where you go really fast for a long ways, then you're like, oh, there's one right there.
Have you ever fished Red Lake or Rathburn Lake in Iowa?
Negative. I've actually never wet a line in Iowa. Next year we got to do it in the spring, Mitchell. We got to go catch some Iowa walleyes. Oh crap. Might have just blown our shot at that one. Yeah, it definitely did. Oh, he's right under us now. Might be able to get a little ways away from him, then put a bait on him. 50% of the time, this works every time. He's still right under us though, he's coming this way. Sometimes these ones are hard to get on a search bait. Because your bait just wants to climb, it doesn't want to like go linearly. Like you can see I'm trying to get down there. And he's out in front of me a little ways.
Are you gonna do any open water basin trolling, and when would you start?
Right now, you could troll these same fish in which we are casting.
John said he's planning an annual NODAC upland and waterfowling trip, 35 consecutive years with his dad.
Oh,
Do you wing shoot too?
brutal. Do I shoot ducks and stuff? No. I mean, I have shot ducks, but do I actively go out? No. Grew up duck hunting though. My dad was a big duck hunter.
Have you ever fished with anybody with a Garmin Force trolling motor?
I have not. A couple poor interactions on my part, the last couple I would say. I feel like there's more I could have done. You notice that like right away I was getting them on like everything, and now it's like a lot more chasing going on. Which is weird. A lot of times you think of these bait like walleyes and you're like, man, fleck home, hot, middle of the day, forget about it. But a lot of times it's better for these basin fish than like the evening hours. I don't know why that is, but.
Maybe that minor major thing was actually right today.
Maybe. Looks like our wakeboard buddies are turning in for the evening. How many of you guys have been watching from the beginning? I feel like this might be a boring one to watch the whole thing because it's just so much trolling motoring. But I would be curious to know if any of you guys have been watching for that duration of time.
I have.
You have? Has it been pretty boring for you?
Yep.
10-4, 10-4. Well, David said you want to shoot bows later.
Do you know how to shoot bows?
I don't even have mine. It's getting a new string on still. I got to go down there and get it. I mean, you just point your name and pull back, right?
Do you own that bow?
Yeah. Leased her for a couple of years. The deal was if I could shoot a deer with it, it could be mine, and I ain't looking good.
You'll get one this year.
Come on, fish, show yourselves. We need one big one before my computer dies. They are coming back into a known area where these fish tend to be lurking. I don't know, what do you guys think I should throw? The jigging crawler or the search bait? The last interactions with both fish have just chased both. And have not committed themselves to the cause. Well, at least we know that at 5 megs we can actually live stream on. For future reference. I don't know where my fish went, Mitchell, but they're not here right now. It's probably hard to tell on the live stream, but we've covered a lot of ground with trolling motor, haven't we?
Oh, a ton, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty similar to like if you came out here and you were trolling the basin.
Yeah, I mean, we're going
multiple passes.
We're going faster with the boat than I do when I troll spinner rigs.
The computer battery is officially on red.
All right. We're just gonna keep it going. It's just gonna be a soft exit, I guess.
Just gonna let it die out?
I don't know, what do you think?
I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to fish a lot longer than this, but...
What's that?
Oh, here we go, Mitchell, here we go. Locked and loaded, locked and loaded. This is the one we need. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Wow, was that ever not the reaction you want? Oh. Oh, except... Wow, dude, come on, don't be lame like that. Yeah, these last couple of reactions have not been very convincing. Which I don't like. I don't like that.
How deep would a scatter at minnow be at 2 miles per hour with 40-foot lead on Suffolk's advanced lead core, 12 pounds with 140 feet out total?
I'd have to get the calculator out for that one. I like the question though.
Have you ever caught big walleye and musky baits? I have a buddy on Mille Lacs that has caught a lot of 30-inch plus while musky fishing.
Yeah, it is low-key. I've kind of been doing an in-between musky fishing thing, and it does work. Some lakes it doesn't work at all, other lakes it seems to work good, but walleyes will bite some big stuff. Dude, they're just can't quite get them to do it. Interesting. If you guys are just tuning in, I appreciate you being here. Our computer is dying, but we're gonna stream for as long as we can here. I have caught 5 big walleyes today in the last several hours here. The last hour of fishing has been a lot of looking at fish following and not biting. That was not a walleye. Which, I mean, honestly, a couple hours of basin fishing isn't that bad, but it could be better. I have seen enough fish. I should have been fishing better to catch a few more, but, you know, can't fake it on the old live stream. The main thing I always want to say in these, in case the computer dies, is that thank you guys for letting my job be possible by following, subscribing, liking the stuff we do. Every little bit helps allowing me to do what I do every day and keeping Mitchell's sorry ass out here. You want to say thanks, Mitchell, for
thank you
letting
guys.
You get really tan today?
We do appreciate everything, though. That is speaking from the bottom of our heart.
Don't miss another live stream. Make sure you subscribe to Tom Boley's YouTube channel. Click that subscribe, your notifications on. Then you'll be notified each time we do a live stream fishing event. Then simply enjoy hours of live stream walleye fishing content.
A big rogue wave coming at us. If you click on the battery on the screen, Mitchell, what does it say?
Yeah, that's why I looked at it.
10%? So it's not just gonna die like, I mean, it could. 9% now? Let me know when we're at 5. You guys enjoy these live streams? We get most comments are like, yeah, these are awesome. Some are like, I prefer the edited version. How many of you guys, is this the first live stream you guys have watched? And you haven't seen some of the other ones we've done? And I know it's a lot of questions. Is there another platform you'd prefer to watch the content on? Have you thought about going back to that other lake, Mitchell, that several hours from here to do this yet?
Oh.
I'd imagine it'd be lights out.
Yeah, that lake is pretty good fishing.
Put this to shame, probably.
I imagine it'd be probably peak right now too.
Oh, never mind.
Can you imagine if that lake was bigger?
Yeah, I know. What'd they say on those questions?
Some seem parts of 4. It's my second. It's my first one.
Do they like it, or like, man, this is just garbage?
No, everyone likes it. The question
suppose.
on what I fish out. I fish out of the Lumacraft 205 tiller.
It's a beautiful night now.
What's that?
I said it's a beautiful night now.
Yeah, it doesn't feel nearly as hot.
Not 6 million degrees anymore. There's no walleyes around to cast at. It's just a nice leisurely troll across the lake.
You guys ever come to Minnesota, and what's your favorite lakes?
I mean, I always love fishing Leech. Leech is always super fun, but Minnesota has so much good walleye water. Not that Wisconsin doesn't, but you know, most of our walleye water in the northern half of Wisconsin where we live is like 800 acres, 1,000 acres. You know, it doesn't have like that. The good things we have is Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, the legendary Lake Winnebago. I mean, you guys in Minnesota can only dream of a lake like Winnebago.
Oh yeah. Phenomenal lake. What rod do you use for the search bait?
Rod, favorite rod, hands down, is this rod right here. This is a Elliott Identity Series rig and jig. 7'4" medium light fast. I like longer rods for search bait fishing. Something 7 foot plus. I like having a softer tip. It helps you load the bait to cast it. Helps the fish eat the bait and load the rod before you set the hook. So if you are looking for a search bait rod, that rod will probably even be linked in the description. Otherwise, just, you know, go on Elliott's site and find something. There's a 7.3 medium light fast, or this in the Identity Series, or in the regular Elliott rod, or the 2B, or the Series. Or if you want kind of what my favorite one is, this is in the Identity line, 7.4 rig.
Do you know any crankbaits that walk like a scatter rat minnow but bigger in size?
Yes. One that I've become obsessed with in the summer when I'm crankbait fishing, 600 Reef Runner ripstick. I'll say it again, 600 Reef Runner ripstick. That bait looks dumb. I've gotten like underwater footage of it before and it just looks stupid kind of when it's in the water, but it has a big wide walk to it. And that bait, like if you're speed trolling in the summer, and it'll free dive to like 20 feet. So really whether you're putting it on lead or you're just free diving it, that bait walks like crazy. And I have a ton of confidence in that bait when I'm summertime trolling. And it's not balsa, so it doesn't break every couple fish you catch, you know? And I've kind of run out of fish, Mitchell.
What rod will you be throwing the 1-ounce search bait on?
Same rod, maybe something a touch heavier, but I kind of doubt it. I mean, it'll still operate fine. I haven't fished the 1-ounce search bait before, so. What's our battery say? 7? It's got to be the heat had to have done that, right? Just that fan blowing all the time. What's that? Man, I'm suddenly just in a dead zone. We'll go a little farther. We could have stayed in some of those areas where there was fish back there and probably hunted around a little harder. Got a few more, but I get to this turning and burning of basin cover fishing and I don't want to get off the trolling motor and like camp down and I don't know. All of a sudden there's like wind out of the northeast. Cisco's. We never really got in that area with a ton of bait today where all those fish were like up high. Lakes that have a lot of bait, you'll see it a lot more frequently. This lake doesn't have a lot of that big bait, it's got some of it. So like, I used to go around and like try to find it in the middle of the day and then get up above it as that bait, like all that big Cisco type stuff starts coming high in the evening. And then like just marks would come in around it, but somewhere from here to 3 miles that way it's happening. Somewhere where we aren't right now. Yeah, all of a sudden I am not around the fish. And I got the trolling motor real high right now. This is the part you guys don't see on YouTube, the in between the bites time. If we were not picking that way, but we're starting. big fat numbers fishing today as I tune in.